Wait, you know The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Oh my God, have you met him? Tell me more.
Yeah.
Have you dated? Welcome back to the Just Trish podcast. Today I am joined by a very talented singer, songwriter, and I'm known about for a very long time. I'm very happy you're here, Miss Olivia O'Brien.
Thank you for having me. This is literally my dream come true.
I'm nervous. I feel like this, okay, there's so much background to it, but most recently on the podcast we talked, well, you know what it is? I feel like the first time I saw you comment on something of mine was recent, where it was like when I showed all my purchased music, and I purchased, it was like I was showing all the Weeknd music, and then you were on there with Jocelyn, and you're like, my son, and I was like, oh my God, and I think we talked about you in the podcast, and then you DM me, and then we talked about you again, so it's like, I don't want to open that DM, I don't know what she has to say to me, so.
Oh, it was nice.
And then you sent me another DM, it's like, open, it's okay, it's not weird.
Yeah, I wanted you to know, like, it's I just love you. I'm just like so obsessed with you.
That's so
Truly.
crazy. Because we definitely crossed group paths, but did we never cross paths?
Actually, the one time that we've met in person was when I was dating Todd.
Wait, we met then?
You came over to my house around Halloween time. We were like about to all go out.
I remember.
That was my house.
It was like, that's not the one you live in now though, right? Because
No.
it was like you walked in and it was like, yeah, you were like in the hills or something like that. It was very bougie. Were you Fairly Odd Parents?
No, that was Kelsey and Stoss. They were Fairly Odd Parents that night, and I think I just wore like a onesie. That was like before I cared about Halloween. But
I just remember, that is so weird. Was it actually Halloween or like
it
Halloween
was like
weekend?
Halloween weekend. We like went out for something. Yeah.
Because I remember just being there literally so briefly, like a few minutes.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, I don't fit in with anybody here because everyone was so gorgeous and tall and
I was too
thin.
nervous to talk to you.
Oh my God. Were you purple hair back
Yeah.
then? That's wild. Because obviously like I knew who you were and I kept hearing, because you were like, I feel like you are very much an it girl, but back then you were like the it girl. Especially of all the guys, all the influencer guys were like obsessed with you. Because when I went on to Impulsive, everyone's like, do you know Olivia Bryant? Like they were on the air, they asked that. And I was like, this is so random. And I was like, kind of. I'm like, I don't know her, but everyone talked about you back then. So that's so crazy.
Well, that was probably just because like me and Logan had a little thing.
No, we have to get, it's honestly, are you, okay, because I think it's amazing. I know recently, like, who is it? Who's the young engaged now? Nina Agel. She, like, got dragged through the mud because of all the people she dated, like, all the famous.
That was so messed up.
Because I think that's so cool, like, to say, I dated Logan Paul, or I dated Todd. I'm like, to me, I'm like, I dated no one, so I think that's so cool, but.
I think the problem is just that, like, when you're a woman, like, if you Google me, it's like, because there was also like this like Pete Davidson thing. I never dated Pete Davidson.
I saw that.
I never dated him. We had we talked. It was mainly
You
like
did?
long distance. We would like just FaceTime. It was like not anything serious. I never brought his name up. And then I was on BFFs and Dave was like, so you dated Pete Davidson? And I was like, caught off guard. I was like, where did you hear that? And then the next day, headlines everywhere. Olivia O'Brien claims she dated Pete Davidson. And this was when he was with Kim. And like someone from his team, like a representative, was like, there's these claims are baseless. Like they were friends who hung out a couple times. I was like, why would we be friends who hung out a couple times? Like we were talking, we weren't dating. Like,
yeah, I just got twisted. Did he ever reach out to you? Was he ever
no, I don't. And he gets a new phone number like all the time. Like even when we were talking, he would like be like, hey, I just got a new phone number. Like text me on here. And I had like 3 phone numbers for him because
he just has so many people. Yeah.
He's just like, he doesn't want to.
He must have something, though, that all these gorgeous girls want to date him.
I mean, he's really funny. And yeah, he's just like really fun to be around when he's in like a good place. And like but then he, can get into a bad place. And then it's like a lot, it's kind of hard. And that's why I feel like he's always dating new people. I don't know. I wasn't like with him for very long, and we spent very little time together actually in person.
Oh, so you met in person?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so that's okay. That's like, then there's something. I mean, I think FaceTiming is still hanging out, but if you met in person, oh my gosh, that's so cool.
I went to the basement apartment.
Wait, what?
When he lived in his mom's basement.
No way. Where's that, in New York?
It was in Staten Island.
I'm gagging right now. This is like, I'm like such a celebrity. I'm obsessed with celebrities. I'm obsessed with dating celebrities. And this is like the biggest that you can get. This is wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, it's like you meet them. I have that like thing too where I'm like, right now my thing is actors. And I'm like, I'll be so attracted to like someone's character online. And then I'll like go on a date with them and I'll have all these preconceived notions of like who they are based on like what I know of them from interviews and things that I've seen. And then you meet them and you're like,
disappointing.
Yeah, and it's also hard to have a relationship with someone like that because the power dynamic is already off, right? So I'm already like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting a chance with this person. I'm so nervous. I can't be myself. And then I'm like, oh my God, I like him. And it's like, no, I don't think I like him. I don't know him. Like,
right.
I don't know him.
Which
I just know who I think he is.
But I don't mind. I've never dated anyone super famous, but even when I dated like Z-listers, I don't mind the power dynamic because I loved being like the fan and just like admiring someone. Because isn't that like a big part of the relationship is like, oh, look, I don't think people should date fans, but I think in your situation it's different because you're in the entertainment industry. Like, you get it. You know, you're not totally like...
Yeah, no, I have major imposter syndrome, and I've had, like, you know, self-image issues and confidence issues forever. So, like, I'm always like, oh my God, they're giving me a chance. Like, and I feel like I have to impress, and then I'm not the best version of myself, and then I blame myself for whatever goes wrong.
Wow, that's so interesting. Because I have that too, but I'm just more like insecure, but you like look like a model, so I feel like they're the people you date.
I was just talking with Madison about this yesterday. When I was younger, I called it the hump. I had like a very large bump on my nose. I've had like 3 nose jobs. I've had a boob job. Yeah, I was like bullied for the way that I looked when I was younger.
Oh my gosh.
And I never healed that part of me. So I feel like I still am like, think I'm ugly. So, and it's so funny as my therapist was like, she looked at me and she was like, Olivia, honestly, I look at you and I don't know how anyone could look any better. And I started crying.
Oh, like good tears though. You're like, wow, someone said that.
I was like, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
You're the stereotypical like beautiful girl. Like there's no like denying it. So
Thank you.
But I guess in a way that makes you even a better like commodity for a guy because you don't have the like I'm such a hot girl, like I can get anyone. You have a little bit.
I've never felt like a hot girl. I've never felt I mean like certain times like if I dress up and I'm like okay, I look good right now, but like when it comes down to it, like I have my little sticky thing.
I love those things. You put them on the mirror?
Oh, absolutely. I put it everywhere.
I love that. I saw Tana have one and I was like, I gotta get one.
No, it's the most useful thing ever, especially if you're making videos. I have a folder in my phone of all of the things that I don't like about myself. Like I take photos of like weird angles. Like I have scars on my forehead that I don't like and I'll like circle them. I'll take photos in like the different lighting. I sent this photo to Madison last night and I was like, is this normal? Like,
wait, why do you do this?
Because I have body dysmorphia.
And why do you save them? Oh my God, don't save them in your phone in an album.
This one's crazy.
Oh, wait, what do you hate about that picture?
My posture.
Oh my God.
So,
oh my God, that makes me so sad. Like that makes me so sad because you are like the most beautiful girl in the whole world. Like I saw you and I was like, oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Do you like talk to someone to get over it?
Yeah, I'm in therapy every week and I really like that's what I'm working on right now is like healing that inner child that like got bullied and was told I was ugly and a freak. And I think that I think my biggest thing is that I just feel like I'm not normal and I've never been like a normal person. Like I was always a little bit of an outcast in school and I was very much so bullied. And I think I was the perfect victim when it comes to bullying because I would react and I would like
let them know.
They knew that they were getting to me. So then it became a bandwagon thing of like, oh, well, let's just all hate on her because she like is going to cry about it. And that's what they want. You know, they do it because they want a reaction from you. So I was reactive and then I was even more annoying because I was reactive about it and that just made me a worse person. And it's just taken me so long to try to get out of that. But like I live my life being like everything I do is weird and I'm a freak and everything is just like a little different than everyone else. And so that's what I'm working on in therapy.
I think I'm glad you're in therapy. I think girls who are in therapy, especially at your age, you're 24, right? Yes. Like in early 20s, if you're in therapy, you're already ahead of the game. But that makes me like so sad. On one hand, I relate. I love girls like that are a little that they, you know, they've gone through the trauma of it because they are empathetic, whatever. But on the other hand, it makes me so. That's why like I hate that I have like a daughter and has to go through school because people are so mean.
I know.
Like, what would they make fun of you for? Is it your nose?
Yeah, they mainly a lot of stuff was my nose. Witch nose, pickle nose for some reason, chicken nose for some reason, and the guy that I had a crush on coined that one. That was so crazy.
A guy and the guys did it too.
Yeah. Oh my, that was the thing. I'm like the worst. I always say like that you're like something is wrong with you if even like the pimply horny boys like would rather make fun of you than like try to have sex with you.
No, high school boys are the worst. They're still the worst. I swear they're still the ones that make fun of me. When I see them at Target, they're still like laughing and filming me. I'm like, you little 13-year-old pricks. I'm like, I hate like high school boys. I've always will. They're the worst.
One of my biggest bullies in high school was this guy who was like 5 feet tall, like not like
Not hot.
conventionally attractive. I don't want to say not conventionally attractive. He wasn't attractive.
Yeah,
he was like a little gremlin.
He bullied you.
And he bullied me the most out of everyone. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I would walk in the cafeteria. I remember when I first started coming to LA a little bit, to like when I first started doing music, and I was still at I went to Catholic school, so that's also like the bullying is like so severe.
That makes but also that's the worst because they're Catholics. They're supposed to be like super godly, and they're making fun of you.
They're just all so mean. But I remember I started like wearing like the things that people were wearing in LA. Like I wore high-waisted jeans, right? And I was like, oh, I'm so cool. I'm wearing the Urban Outfitters high-waisted jeans. Like I'm so cool. And I would go to school, and then my Ask FM. Did you ever have Ask FM? It was like oh my god.
What is that?
It was like a website where people can anonymously just say whatever they want about you, and like they'll just be like. That was where I got a lot of the hate. Was like, you're ugly, you're this, you're that. Nobody fucking likes you. You're the most annoying person in the world, and you think you're whatever. Yeah.
Wait, so it's like you had profiles of like social media?
Yeah, you had a profile, and people could submit things anonymously. It was so awful. I got it in like 7th or 8th grade and had it through high school. It's like that is the worst time. I think that was like the basis of like a lot of the trauma.
Yeah, middle school sucks.
I remember people would, when I started wearing high-waisted jeans, people would comment, "You're such a slut wearing your high-waisted jeans to show off your ass," and I was like. I'm covering more of my body.
12,
I'm literally covering more of my body.
Oh my gosh.
And I wore Adidas Superstars, but I got the all white ones. And people were like, why are you wearing nurses' shoes to school? 2 years later, all these bitches are wearing Adidas Superstars.
Oh my God. That's so crazy. So they're making fun of like your outfits too.
Oh, it was literally everything that I did. And there were so many nice people too. Like, don't get me wrong. There were so many people that would come to like go to bat for me and that were so kind to me. But it's always the mean stuff that sticks with you. And I've gotten so many people that have reached out to me and apologized, which is really sweet. Like a lot of the really, really popular girls have like reached out and like sent like long paragraph apologies being like, I was in a bad place in high school and I was insecure about, and I'm like, I get it. I don't hold anything against anyone from that time.
That's good. You can let it go.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've also repressed a lot of the memories.
Yeah.
So
just like, don't remember.
Sometimes my friends will be like, remember when that person did this? And I'm like, I forgot, but now I remember.
That's so common, though. I keep hearing this from girls who are like bullied and stuff like that. Because me too. It's like then you remember and you're like, oh my God, yes. I don't know if a bully like reached out to me from high school. I don't know if I would be as forgiving. I'd be like, you made my life hell. Like I switched high schools 5 times because of you.
Yeah,
but that's good. That's better to be that way. Well, it's your therapy and everything that you can just like let things go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it feels like a different lifetime also.
Yeah.
And like I moved to LA and then I had bullies here, so it was
it never goes away.
Yeah, so I kind of was more focused on like that. There's people here that like when I first moved, there's like a couple people that I'm just like, I will never fucking forgive you and your trauma will affect me for the rest of my life.
Here in LA?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, that was me. Also, I moved here at 16, so it was like,
so you're still getting that. Do you get it now anymore?
I don't really deal with like mean girls now because I think I've been here for so long that I definitely, when I first moved here, it was a lot. And then I kind of was able to pinpoint like who, and also it's kind of almost easier with social media now because I can like see people's demeanor and just know.
It's very true.
And I also have friends and they're like, oh, this person did this to me. So it's just, I have a good bullshit detector and I don't let those people into my life anymore. And I don't let that affect me. So
you seem to have a good like girl group here of friends. Like
I do, yeah. I have a couple girl groups actually now. I was kind of like only hanging out with the same group of people for a really long time. And we're still very close friends, but like everyone's kind of like getting a boyfriend and growing up and like we all kind of do our own things. Yeah. And then like we come together, like I think we're going to go get dinner tonight actually.
Fun.
But so I also have a group of like, they're all older than me too. Cause I was 17 and they were a little older.
Yeah. It helps when they're older, like girls, they kind of get it.
It was great. Yeah. But I also have last year started hanging out with like another girl group that I love so much that are all a little younger, like my age or even younger than me. The youngest one is like 19 and I'm like, you are such a baby.
Isn't it crazy?
She's like my daughter.
19 to 24. It does feel like
crazy.
That when you're that age. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say those years count so much. People are like, it's only 5 years. I'm like, but
no, you changed so much.
So much. And then in relationships too, because you said you were dating like older people at 17, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, that to me is always the most wild experience. It's so crazy. Did they know your age? Did they know you were like 17? Or were you like, I'm 18?
Oh my God. I find like screenshots. Like I'll sometimes just go through my old like screenshots or whatever in my phone. I found messages of like guys being like, oh, I can't believe you're 16. Like, I want to date you so bad. Like, jailbait. Or like, I probably shouldn't. Like, I probably shouldn't. You're 17. And then they still would like do. It's just like, yeah. I dated a 24-year-old when I was 17. And like, it was bad.
Was it bad? Okay, because some people say, I always make this argument, like 24 and 17, like it's close in age. I'm like, but that's such a big difference for dating.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It's just like nothing really bad necessarily happened, but he was like a club promoter, and we decided we were dating when I was drunk in the club that I was in at 17 years old. Like, why was I in the club? He was getting me in the club. I would get drunk. We'd be like, we're dating. We love each other. And then I went on tour, and he stayed back, obviously. And I was like, why am I dating this guy? I don't like him. And he's like kind of a creepy dude.
Yeah.
So
your sobriety, you're like, no, this is
I was
not
like, no. So then I broke up with him because I was like, no, why am I like? And looking back, like I would never date someone like that ever. Now, like, oh my gosh. So to me, it's just that. It's like, why would I let myself do that? I don't know, but I was so
17.
young.
At 17, it's like, yeah, you don't know. And if you're partying and stuff like that, you don't know those kind of things. Yeah. Well, that's where, back to the original. So when you do date these like cool, like high profile people, like especially like Pete Davidson stuff, like, do you feel like, do you get excited about that? Or are you just kind of like, so, like Taylor Swift's like, I don't want to be known for my dating.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, if you Google, that's what I was trying to say in the beginning. Yeah. If you Google me, like, it's just like Olivia O'Brien, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's so hard for women because they just associate us with who we're dating, especially as a songwriter. It's like, who's this about? Who's this about? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's what they care. People care about that so much. And I don't know if that's just, I don't know if maybe male songwriters experience that too, but I just feel like it's so common with women. And like a lot of the things that people say about me, it's all about my dating. I'll post a video that has nothing to do with anything. And people will comment like, well, aren't you the girl that dated Logan Paul? And I'm like, first of all, your information is just like so wrong. Second of all, you know, like 0.0000001% or less of my actual dating history because I don't post that stuff. Like whatever has come out by accident. I don't name drop ever unless it's like with the Logan stuff, it like I was hiding it for so long, and then it got to the point where it was like, we all know, and I was like, fine, I'll say it.
How do people know? Like I wouldn't know. That was my favorite song of yours, Jocelyn. Like I remember during COVID, everyone was doing it. Like how do people find that out?
Well, we were like not that secretive about. Like I went on his podcast when we would like talk for a while and then stop talking and then talk for a while and stop talking all the time for like 3 years.
Oh my god!
So like when I was on his podcast, like we were like hooking up and stuff. So
and it was like
people were commenting like they're definitely like.
Oh, really? Because I saw the one, I think it was BFS where Mike was on, and you're like in the bedroom or something like that.
We were on a trip in London with Logan.
Oh, okay, so that's why they're like, well, this makes sense, okay? So people could just guess.
Yeah, and then I was like, whatever, I don't care, because we kept like. Every time that we were like on good terms, we would just like make jokes about it, and then we wouldn't care as much. So I was like, whatever. It's like people kind of know, and I'm on the trip, and I started being in the YouTube videos, and it was like, whatever. Who cares?
So they just kind of like,
we just kind of gave up on it.
I mean, that's a flex. I think Logan is such, like he's always been cool. I think like he's always right. Are you friends with him now?
I haven't talked to him in so long.
Oh, okay,
no,
okay.
I haven't actually seen him since he came out with me at my Coachella performance.
When was that? Was that 2 years ago? Or last
my
year?
gosh, yeah, almost 2 years ago. It was
that's cool. So that's what I was saying. You guys must be still on cool terms if he's like, I'm going to come out during this song.
Yeah, no, we were friends for a while. He's one of those people that when he dates someone, he is so that is his life, and like I think he's really ready to like settle down. Yeah. And I obviously was never going to be the person for that.
Wait, why do you say that? Because you don't want to settle down?
No, not at all. No, and also like he likes to have someone that is down to be in his life and be like go move where he wants to go and do what he wants. And I think that I don't know anything about Nina. She seems really sweet. Yeah. And I'm still friends with all his friends, and they all tell me like she's such an angel. And that's good. She's in a point in her life where she wants to do that, and she's ready to do that, and she can be the partner for him because he's such a like. When he's in a relationship, he's a relationship guy. Like that's his main focus, and he's very loyal. He doesn't cheat. Like when he's in a situationship, we weren't dating, so we weren't dating. When he decides he wants to like date someone and have a girlfriend, he's very committed.
Wait, so what's the difference between dating and what situation? I don't know the difference.
We just like. We just weren't like officially, we weren't dating ever. Okay. We just like would hang out for a couple months, and then he would get bored of me and we would stop hanging out.
That's so
And then we would hang out again.
Oh my God, dating sounds so difficult.
It's horrible.
I never really dated in my 20s, so I don't know.
I don't date anymore, really, no.
Because you don't want to settle down. You have no interest in it.
No, and I realized that I'm kind of not really a relationship person. I never really dated much in high school. I feel like a lot of how you date later in life can kind of be defined by your experiences when you're younger, just as most things are. So like, boys didn't like me when I was growing up. They were bullying me. And like, I was like, some of the guys like in my later parts of high school would like asked me to hook up, but like really secretly. Like I was like the secret, like no one could know because I was like embarrassing and weird and like whatever.
Because of a bump on your nose.
Yeah, now looking back, I'm like, you know what? I wasn't that ugly, but I thought I was the ugliest person on the entire planet. Ugliest, weirdest, most annoying. And like I'm still every day trying to work on like not feeling like that.
And I feel like it never goes. Every day I still feel like that. I try to tell myself, don't be so hard on yourself. It's like every day I'm like, ugh.
I know. It's
like
so,
never goes
we
away.
carry the little girl. We carry her with us everywhere. And before all of that trauma, like I went to Montessori school when I was really young. And I was like, I was like, I'm a quadruple threat. I'm a singer, dancer, singer, dancer, actor, and fashion designer. That was what I wanted to be, but I was like 7. And then I went to Catholic school, and I was just pounded down like my confidence in all of that. I was like, oh, that's an impractical career. So essentially what I want to do is become that little girl again and have those dreams and be proud of myself and not be afraid to be creative and express myself. And I think that the weirdness that I feel, I'm not normal, why am I not normal? That's okay, because normal people suck.
Yeah, they suck. And they're boring. And it's just, there's no stuff to it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I spent my whole life just wanting to fit in and be normal, and I never could. It was like I would do everything slightly wrong. Like I would find because also in high school and at a Catholic school, everyone's wearing these name brands and it's like these specific things. It's all the same. So, and I wasn't wealthy. I was on financial aid. I wasn't like, we were fine, but I was going to school with a lot of rich kids, and I couldn't afford the stuff that they had. So like I would find like a pair of like Uggs on sale, but they were the wrong color, or like I would get like the knockoff ones, or I would find I remember Rag and Bone jeans were like, oh my God, if you had Rag and Bone jeans. I found them some at Nordstrom Rack, but they were like bright teal colored, and I wore them and I was like, this is literally so cool. I am so cool and rich. And everyone was like, why are you wearing those jeans? You look like
oh my God.
So it was just stuff like that
social
all the
shaming
time.
you too.
Yeah, it was just every time I would try to fit in and thought I was fitting in, I was just doing it slightly wrong always. And now I kind of almost like treasure that about myself, because I don't want to fit in, but I do carry that with me. Like, I just want to be normal.
Yeah. It is hard, but I feel like you've done a good job being like, because you are so unique. Like I remember your purple hair era, like that was so unique. And then your tour was like all purple, and it was like just such a thing, And then like you had different eras. You talked about your 70s era and stuff like that. And it's like, it's so cool. And the fact that today you wanted to dress in costume, you're like, do you want to, and I would never think of you as someone who wants to dress up in costume.
I love dressing
That's why I was like so nervous. I was like, okay.
No.
I was like, I don't know.
I love dressing up. I literally love dressing up.
We're in costume today. I'm you from, what's the
Now music
yes,
video, but
Now
also
video.
Regina's mom.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's
Regina.
both. Yeah,
I'm Regina.
you're perfect for it. You look so good. Did you see the new musical?
I did. I actually got to see it before it came out. I went to a screening.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Did you get to go with the cast? Were they there?
No,
Just
I think a couple people that were in the movie were in it, but yeah, it was like an influencer event. But
Are you a musical theater person, or you're just talking about musical theater people?
I did theater when I was younger, and then in like a little bit in high school. I think I kind of left school before I could really get that into it.
Yeah.
But I did it when I was really young, and then through like middle school. And my friend Madison is like, she's
much more of a
musical theater girl than I am. She is the musical theater
Whenever
girly.
I meet someone that's into musical theater, I immediately like. There's so many people that hate musical theater. I was like,
no,
how can you
I
hate
love
it?
musical theater. I can't say like, oh, I'm a theater kid, because like I didn't do it to that extent, and there are a lot of musicals that I don't know, but like I will go watch a musical and I will love it.
I love all the musicals.
Musical theater.
Would you ever do Broadway?
It's so hard, and I don't know if I have the like the voice. I can do I can switch and like sing in that tone, but I don't know if I can hit all the notes. It had to be the right part in my register. But I mean, that's like, I could maybe do like what is it, like how how Pamela Anderson did like a Roxy Hart? Yeah. Like,
well, you definitely could do that role. That's very...
But like something like that, where I could like do something
like
for a little bit.
Yeah, like you go in there for 3 months.
Yeah, like I would do something like that maybe, but I don't know if I could like commit, because it's so intense. It's the hardest thing to do as a performer, I think, because I mean, you have to go out there and give a perfect performance every single time. I can't.
8 shows a week, I think, or something.
My gosh,
which is
it's
like
crazy.
How do they even keep their voice for that long? You can't talk,
crazy.
I guess, or
yeah.
I don't know how that works.
It's so intense.
Do you like drink olive oil, or what is it? Like people drink oils and stuff like that. Do you do that for your voice?
No, and I need to take care of my voice better for sure. I'm like in and out of vocal lessons. Sometimes I'll go and like was going for a few months, and then I was like, there's no point for me to be going right now because I'm not doing any more live shows until I release more music, so I haven't gone in a while. But I feel like every time I learn how to like preserve my voice, I go on stage and it's all out the window, and
Really?
I just belt and I lose my voice, and it's a whole thing. Because a lot of my songs I am singing kind of at the top of my register, and I do need to belt.
Yeah.
And it's a lot.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine. And doing all those, like, you were on a big tour for, you did a couple big ones before
I've done a
COVID,
couple.
right?
I did one headline tour. Ooh, my wig. I did. It's like shedding
all
everywhere.
over me too.
I did 2 headline tours. But one of them, got cut off during COVID. It was like in the dressing room in Silver Springs in Maryland. And I was watching the TV and they were like, everyone go home. We're in lockdown for COVID. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
And so we had to go home and the tour was not happening. So
was that a shock? Were you just like, oh no, you weren't from a high?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was so sad, but it was like, the whole world is having to go into lockdown, so I can't be like sad about myself right now.
Yeah.
And then I finished that tour in 2021. So.
Oh, okay. So you were able to go back then after.
I was able to go back and redo the tour and all of that. There was a couple shows I didn't get to do. Like I didn't get to do Vancouver because there was like a natural disaster. I think it was a flood happened there or something.
Gosh,
so we couldn't make it in. And I never got to reschedule, and I still get comments to this day like, when are you going to come to Vancouver? And I'm like, I can't just like go to Vancouver and do the show and come back. Cause like, that's not like, that doesn't make sense budget wise. Like I would like actually like, I don't know if I can afford to do that.
Do you budget your own tours? That's what I was going to ask. Cause you were signed to a label at like 16.
Labels don't pay for your tours at all. No.
Never?
Unless you get tour support. I had a really bad deal with my label. In today's terms, it would be bad. In 2016, it was standard. So, but I didn't have tour support. Some people I know get tour support, but I fund the tour, and then usually I break even. I don't make money on touring. You don't make money on touring unless you're like, a really big artist or whatever. I'll make some money from selling merch usually.
Yeah.
So.
Do you do meet and greets and stuff at yours?
Yes. Yeah.
I think that'd be so hard as a singer to do meet and greets because then your like voice.
Your voice, yeah. I try to like not talk as much as I can, but I'm such a talker that it's like.
Oh man, that would be so difficult, and it takes so much energy to like. I can't
and
imagine.
if I'm in a bad mood, like if I'm sad or anxious, and I have to go out there and be nice, and like it's not like I'm gonna ever be mean, but it's like my worst fear is somebody thinking that I'm like a mean girl.
Mm-hmm.
Mean girl,
yeah, literally. As you as Regina right now.
No, but my worst fear is people think that I'm, because I can be very sarcastic. And sometimes I'm really anxious. So I'm like, I have a resting bitch face, and I'll just be like nervous and scared. And my worst fear is that someone's going to think that I'm being mean because of them, or trying to be mean to them, or trying to be rude. Because if I ever say something sarcastic or I also just like talk and just say like, sometimes I'll say things and be like, oh, that could have been perceived wrong.
Yeah.
And if I ever find out that my words have just hurt someone, I feel so horrible. Like I would never, ever, 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 ever want to hurt anyone's feelings ever, because I've been there, and that's not my thing.
Worst,
my worst fear is, every time before a meet and greet, I'm like, okay, I just had the worst day of my life. I just found out some horrible information and I'm feeling sick and I don't feel good. But I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do it.
No, but I feel like that is the thing too, because I get really anxious when people in public say my name. At first, I'm very standoffish. I'm just like, hi, and I keep moving because I'm like, I don't know if they're going to be a hater, if they're going to make fun of me, if they're going to film me weird, until I can see that they're nice. And then I'm like, okay, I'm so excited. But I'm the same way. I get very much like standoffish at first. I'm like, I don't know. But especially going on tour and singing and stuff, like you just never know with the kind of people.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's a lot.
And you go with a band, right? So you're paying for all of them.
Yes, I pay for the band, and then everyone gets like a per diem, so like their money for the food and whatever.
And you're funding all of it.
Yeah.
Wow, I know. I did like 2. I'm not a singer like you. I did 2, and I remember being so expensive. I lost money on mine, but
I mean, a lot of people do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing when people make money. I was like, wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
I guess a lower budget show.
And people don't know that it's like you're losing money, but it's mainly to go to like get exposure and to meet people and to like do that. That's why you go on tour, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, people are always like, well, if you need money, just go on tour. It's like,
no, it's opposite.
Nope.
You need money to go on tour.
Yeah, you need money.
So you became independent. So you were signed at 16, then you became independent like last 2023?
Beginning of last year, like about a year ago, yeah.
And did you come out 2 singles, no album yet?
3 singles, no album. And so basically when I was with my label, the reason why everything was so crazy was because, so I signed with one person, an A&R and the president of the label and whatever, and I had my team. Pretty soon after that, the president of the label left, started his own label, and then we got a new president. I was really excited, and then I put out my first album that I was working on with my A&R. It was great, and I loved it. And then the president was like, we had a meeting and he was like, oh, so I fired your A&R, and we can now start working on developing you as an artist, because I just like didn't care about your album. Like I just kind of, you were already almost done when I started working here, so like I just kind of let you put it out, and like now we can really actually like go forward. And I was like, so you're not gonna do anything to promote my album that I just worked on for a year and a half or whatever? And yeah, fired my A&R, and I was like, okay, cool. Then he leaves the label. We don't have a president for God, I don't know, like 6 or 8 months or something. Like it was a long period of time. And then that was when I put out what was supposed to be the first half of my second album, called Episodes. And we did all the stuff, and I did a bunch of music videos. I did this like shoot with where I filmed a bunch of videos and also the cover art and a bunch of like promo things all in one shoot, and it was pretty expensive. And then we put that out while we didn't have a president, so I don't think, and it was, people were like still leaving and coming, and it was just like all of these changes. It was just such a transitional period for the label pretty much the entire time I was there. And then the new presidents couldn't come. They picked the people, it was 2 guys now, and they couldn't start until the top of the next year because they were in contract with another label until then. So we had to wait. And then they come in, and then it was like, oh, sorry, we actually don't have enough money for you to like finish out the second half of the album if you want to like do the same like level of what you did, like visually and everything, and like, and we can't fund that for you, like you're gonna. And I was like, oh, so they spent all because no one was like properly budgeting for me, so they spent all the money for my whole album cycle on my first half, so then I never got to do the second half.
Oh my God, so you're not thinking, because they wanted you to fund it if you were going to do a second half.
I don't know if it was that. I don't even know if they would have. I mean, I guess if I bought the songs and did it, then they would put it out. But it's like at that point that, because labels make all the money, they make all of your money from your streaming and everything. So like
that's what I heard
there would
you
be
say.
no point for me to like pay for that, because then I would literally actually just be losing money, and they would be making money off of the songs that I paid for.
That's so wild to me, because you were saying, because I always thought the dream was to get a record deal. You always hear about Britney Spears signing with Jive, and you're like, oh my God, that's the dream, you make it. But you were saying like even once they recoup the money they put into you, they still keep 80% of the streaming.
87%.
That's why I heard that in an interview when he said that, and I was like, oh my God, that is actually insane.
And not all deals are like that. My deal was like that, and it was like I signed in 2016, and it was like, yes, streaming was like the norm then, but they still were figuring out the logistics on how to pay people and like how it all was working really. So people still really kind of were adjusting at that time, and then it got better after that, and now artists, you know, there's been a lot of pushback of like labels are like a lot of people are going independent. It's great. But so now labels are offering a little bit of better deals because things are a little more figured out. So my deal just wasn't great. And again, it was fine. Like no one at my label is bad. And also right now they really have it figured out, I think. But I just was like, I can't. And my dad, the whole time, my dad's my business manager. He's like my best friend, and he moved out here with me when I was 16, like my biggest supporter. He always was like, Olivia, I don't know why you're with a label. They take all your money. Like, you need to leave. They're not doing anything for you. And it was also another thing was like, they would be like, this is the song. We're going to put this song out next. It's going to be the single. It's going to be this big thing. And then someone else would get fired or get put whatever. And then they'd be like, oh, actually, like, it's not anymore, which is things would just get shelved or like pushed back, and dates would get pushed back and back and back. And I just felt like I was always fighting against something. Yeah. But then when I went independent, it was like, okay, I kind of understand why they were so picky with what I put out, because now I have to fund it all, and it's expensive. Yeah. It's expensive. You have to pay, and people are always like, why don't you just put your songs out on SoundCloud? I'm like, that's illegal because I made them with producers, and I have to pay the producer fee, and I have to do it legally now,
and
pay people. Yeah. So like I'm not gonna like screw people over and just drop a demo on SoundCloud. Like that's like other people are working on this music with me. Like they deserve to get paid. Like that's immoral. Right. Not only is it illegal, it's immoral, and I'm not doing that.
Well, they don't know about like the publishing, the ASCAP of it all. So we need the numbers and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it was really. I was like,
you were 13.
Yeah. So last year I was like, oh, I'm gonna release all this music, and then I kind of felt stuck. I was like, well, now it's all up to me. Now I don't have people telling me what to do. I have to decide. And if I make the wrong decision for what song is like, and then everything also, like, I remember when I put out my first music video independently, the comments, not all the comments, I saw one comment, of course, and I fixate on the one mean comment.
Yes, always.
I try not to read. YouTube comments can be so ruthless. I try not to read, like,
you need
most
a
comments.
monitor. You need a moderator.
Yeah, literally. And someone commented and was like, LOL, this is so low budget or something. And it was like, it was filmed on like VHS, and I thought it was like very cool and like very me.
Yeah.
Like we filmed it at Chateau Marmont. And yes, it was low budget. It was, I mean, well, I just like rented a room. It was like, it was
like rented out like bougie.
No, me
Still,
and like,
so bougie.
and this girl, Christina, who's amazing. She like takes photos and does video. She did like a VHS, and it was really cute. It was like very my style, very me. But everyone was like, this is low budget. I'm like,
oh my
okay,
God.
Well, you know what?
Give me money for the next one.
You know what? It is low budget. I'm sorry. I'm an independent artist. It's low budget. I'm
my
sorry.
God.
And it's cute. It's not like if you're doing a low budget video and you were trying to make it look good, I think that's even worse. Like I was like leaning into the like, oh, I'm VHS and I'm just like in a bathtub and I'm walking down the street. Like
I love that. No, and I do think it is your vibe, because even your big budget ones still have that kind of, even Jocelyn, I mean, it's obviously a big budget video, but it just gives you more casual vibes. You know, it doesn't look like larger than life Backstreet Boys or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I thought was always your thing. Or the one you did during COVID where it was like, I think it was just like in your house or something like that. Like, I don't know.
the green screen one?
Maybe it was just like it was Jocelyn again or something like that, but it was all green screen. Maybe that's the one I saw. Yeah, and I was just like, I like that. I thought that was like cool.
I mean, because we didn't have much of a choice at that time.
Yeah, but I love that you just did it. You're like, I'm just gonna do it inside the house, which I thought was so cool.
You know, I just kind of try to do what I can, and like there's times when I'm really involved in like the creation of the visuals, and there's other times where I'm like, I kind of don't know if I have a vision for this song, and I'll hire like someone to help me with that. And I used to have like when I was with my label, I had a really amazing creative director, Amber Park. Can't afford her anymore.
Most because are expensive.
She's amazing. She's amazing. My first album was she did all those visuals. Oh, I love that cover art. I love everything. And at the time, it's like I was so insecure, obviously, that I couldn't recognize like, oh, this is a good album. Now I look back and I'm like, I'm so proud of myself, my little self. I did that, and it's so good.
Your first one.
My first album. I mean, wasn't even real.
Was I Hate You, I Love You the biggest, right?
Well, that wasn't on that album or anything. So that song, I was 15 and I was not making music. I wrote it in my room when I was still living in Napa, and it was like a random miracle song that happened, and that's because of that song. That's how I got my record deal and my managers. I was not professionally doing it. I was a high school loser. And people were making fun of me at my school for that too. They knew who I wrote it about, and they were like, "Haha, you wrote a song about it." And then it was like, it went from like, "Oh my God, this girl's posting SoundCloud covers. She's so horrible. Why does she think she could ever make it?" And then as soon as things started happening, they were like, "Oh, she thinks she's so cool. She's just gonna move to LA and like forget about where she came from and forget about us." Like, I wish I could forget about you. You guys all ruined my life.
Well, they came back around. But that song, I mean, that's how I saw in an interview, you said that's how you bought your house and stuff like that. Like that made you the money. Yeah. And so were you putting it only on SoundCloud, or where did you put it?
So at first we put it out only on SoundCloud. So I did it with this guy, Nash. So I put my like version that I recorded like on GarageBand with like a really crappy mic on my laptop, like didn't know how to do anything. I uploaded that version to my SoundCloud, and then we did a version. I went to LA to make it with Nash. I thought he was just going to produce it. I didn't know he was going to put a verse on it or anything. And then he was like, let's put it out on my SoundCloud since I have more followers. I had like 200 followers. He had like 2,000. So I was like, this makes sense. Yeah. Let's do it. So we put it out as his song featuring me, which like now it's really common for there to just be two artists. Like it's like whatever instead of featured. But at the time, features were kind of like the only thing you could do. So whatever. I wish that I could also be a primary artist on it, but because I did write it, I wrote all the piano, I composed it. Like
by yourself, 100%. So do you get all the publishing, all the masters?
So he did like the production for it, and then he added his own verse. So we split the publishing 50-50.
Okay. Do you own the masters to that?
No, it's because he signed to Atlantic. So we put it out on his SoundCloud, then it blew up, then we put it out through like a distribution service on all of the streaming and whatever. And then that he got signed to Atlantic, and the Atlantic gave me a little small advance for that song, and just because the song signed to the label. So that song particularly is signed to Atlantic, which I was never signed there. But so I don't own the master, but I do have 50% publishing, which is very rare. Yeah. Because it was just the two of us. So, and I'm really, really happy that like the first thing I did was get a lawyer. So that
smart.
happened. And it's funny, my lawyer actually, how I found him, he DM'd me on Twitter. He was like, "Hi, I'm a lawyer." And I was like, this is so sus. What do you mean? What do you mean you're a lawyer? And I sent it to my dad because he was helping me with everything. I mean, I was a literal teenager, and like I needed him there with me at every meeting, and he was just, But my dad Googled him, and he's like, he represents Rihanna and Jay-Z.
What? And he just DM'd you?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a lawyer?
He's always on social media. Like, I don't know. He's so funny.
That's wild.
And then, he was my lawyer. He helped me find my management and and everything. Yeah. So, but it's so funny. I was like, why are you DMing me?
And you replied. You're like, okay.
And then he took me to Diamond Ball, Rihanna's Diamond Ball.
Oh my God. Okay, that's
I was
bougie.
like,
That's
I know. I was like, and
I would be so starstruck. Did you get to meet her?
Yes.
I love Rihanna.
But like just briefly, because if I have a conversation with, I'm like, I can't. I'm so like, don't meet your idols. Like I'll meet them, but like I don't ever want to like be friends with anyone that I like love, because it just like I want you to remain this like elusive, wonderful. Because I've met so many celebrities, so like just being in LA, just being in the circles that I'm in, like I've met everyone, and then once you realize that everyone's just a person, it's just like kind of sad, because like I still want to be I want to be a fangirl of people, and I want to idolize people, and I want to see them as larger than life. Like Lana Del Rey, like I never want to be friends with her, meet her. I mean, like, not that she would ever want to be friends with me, but like,
you never. I feel like she would be. She's working at Waffle House. She's just doing.
Maybe, but like, I want to like meet her and tell her I love her, and then just like that's it.
Just have it be
because
that.
I idolize her so much. It's just, and then there's a few people like that.
Why don't you write a song for her? I'd be like, I wrote a song for you.
I don't think she would.
You're
accept
Lana coded for sure. All your music is very that. You know, just like it's like Mean Girls. Just bring it back slowly. A lot of your songs, and it could be a Lana song.
Okay, that's the biggest compliment ever. I mean, so I just recently started writing for other people, but it's more like I'll go. A lot of artists right now, people are kind of starting to take pitch songs again. So pitch song is like, you know, when you go and write it, and you're like, let's think of an artist we could write for, or you write a song, and you're like, this could be good for these people, and then you send it to your publisher, and they send it out to like people, and people can either say yes or no, and whatever. A lot of for a while, everyone was kind of in like a, well, we want our artists to be in the room and writing and have writing credits, even if they can't write.
Right, they just sit in the room with you.
Yeah, so like a lot of songs you'll see like, oh, well, this person, like they wrote it, and it's like, yeah, they have writing credits, but like if you look, there's like also a lot of other names. Like you don't know necessarily how much that person contributed to the session. They could have just like told them like, hey, this is what's going on with my life. Then the writers wrote it. But some people, and then also like I've had sessions a lot of the time where I will go in and I'll write a song with someone else, because I write with the top liner sometimes, and they'll tell me afterwards like, hey, I'm really impressed that you actually like write your own songs. Like a lot of artists I'll go in with, and it's so hard. You have to like really work to get them out of their shell to even like get creative. And like, I just want you to know that like, I don't like never let anyone tell you that you can't write a song. Because I mean, that's what I was before anything. Like I'm a writer. I also write, I'm writing a novel. I'm writing an autobiography. I wrote a TV show. Oh my gosh. So
wow. Yeah. Wait, all at once right now? You're writing all of it?
I actually just finished my first pilot for my TV show that I'm really excited about.
Do you want to be in it?
I don't, because I am so hypercritical of myself. I'm working on right now, like being okay with how I look on camera, and being in acting school is like really. Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah, no, we didn't talk about on camera. We're in acting class. Because you were supposed to yesterday, and you're like, I have class. Oh, I didn't know it was acting class, but I think that's even cooler. You're like, I have class on Thursdays.
I had a 10-hour day yesterday. So I'm in a part-time program, so it's on Wednesdays. On Wednesdays we wear pink.
I was thinking about the right away, so we're saying that.
On Wednesdays I have class at night, and then on Thursdays I'm there from 9:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. with a 1-hour break.
Yeah. What are you doing for 8 hours?
So I have a class called Acting for TV and Film. So they actually like record you, and you have to watch yourself back, which has been really hard for me. And then it's I'm going to a school where basically, I mean, I always thought method acting was like when people are like really intensely like getting into the character, but essentially it's just like being able to bring your own emotions and relate to the character and like kind of become them in that way through yourself.
That sounds scary to me though.
It is a little scary because like
reliving trauma and stuff.
I've cried in class. So I'm in two method acting classes also. But
so you like it? You like to do the method acting?
I love it because I feel like it's really helping me. One of the biggest things is that it's relaxation. So like you'll sit for like an hour in class, you'll sit there and it's like this relaxation process that you do. It's like a breathing, you focus on your breathing, and then you clench every muscle and then relax, and you try to release all the tension in your body. And then we'll do sensory exercises. So you have to like imagine something and like feel it, smell it, taste it, like it's really there, and like do things with it and whatever. I feel like a freak when I'm doing it, because like obviously, but we're all doing it. We're all in this together.
High School Musical.
Yeah.
I love High School Musical.
Me too. Of course.
Have you dated Zac Efron? I want to go back to Zac Efron.
No, I've not dated Zac Efron.
I thought when you were talking about actors earlier, I was like, is this?
I think I'm like 4 inches taller than him.
But he loves that. Everybody who's come on recently has someone that knows someone that dated Zac Efron recently, and I was like, anyways, okay. Sorry, I got distracted. I thought maybe you would, because he'd be your type, or vice versa.
It was so funny. My friend group in my group message, they texted and were like, I'm so shocked that none of us has ever like had a Zac Efron moment.
Everyone I know, I'm I'm most gonna test this. Every guest who's come on here has known someone dating Zac Efron like currently, and I was like, what the heck?
I know people that are friends with him, but not dating.
Oh, okay, maybe Raya. Anyways, okay, back to the acting.
Back to that. No, but we had this exercise we did yesterday, where you have to like look at yourself. You have to imagine looking at yourself in the mirror, and we did it actually in both of my classes this week. And my first teacher said, look at yourself in the mirror, notice everything on your face, and then notice something you've never noticed before. And I almost I wanted to start crying, and you're allowed to like start crying because you can get really emotional. They like kind of want that. But I just was like, because I couldn't think of a single thing that I hadn't ever noticed about myself, because I will look in the mirror and be like, I don't like this. I don't like that.
Yeah, you
I don't like
pictures
that.
of yourself.
I'm just like, I know my face. I almost said I know my face like the back of my hand. I know my face way better than I know the back of my hand.
Really? Because you just like stare. You're just like staring at it to see your imperfections.
And I have OCD, and I have part of that is dermatillomania. So when I had like really bad acne as a teen, I would rip. I wouldn't just pick my pimples. I would like rip them off of my skin. My mom was an esthetician, so I had these like metal. She had these metal tools, and I would like literally gouge my skin out. Like I would have like scabs, and that's what my like scars are from. And it's just really I'm so hyper focused on every single anything. So I was like, I don't like this exercise. So you really have to dig deep, like stare at yourself in the mirror, notice this. And we talk about it afterwards, and a lot of the people were like, I had a really hard time with that because I felt really insecure, or like I wanted to like do this. I wanted to like scream. Like everyone gets really emotional, but it's really cool because learning how to relax and having that be like a part of my classes is really nice for me, because I have OCD and because I have so much anxiety that I've never had to learn how to. I've never learned how to relax. Right. Ever. I don't think I've ever relaxed in my life.
You've never just cleared your mind?
No.
Really? Because you said you like to be alone a lot, so I would think when you're alone, you just are like meditative.
I'm spiraling.
Maybe you shouldn't be alone. Yeah.
Not always, but like sometimes I will spiral. And I do things to distract myself. You know, like I'll just read a book, or I'll watch a good movie and like try to lose myself in that. But
do you live alone?
Yeah. I do.
Okay, so then it can be like, I lived alone like all my life, and it's just like it can be a lot.
It can be a lot, really isolating. It's my first time living alone, so
right, because you always had like roommates and stuff like that. So it's your first time living alone, and so now, but you're going to acting classes, you're out and about.
Yeah, which is also nice to like meet new people and be, I don't want to say forced because like I'm liking it. Yeah. But like, you know, you're put in a room with all these strangers. I have no preconceived notions, ideas about them at all. None of us know each other. We have no mutual friends really. Like
they don't know you?
No.
Oh, I would think people would know you.
If they do, then they haven't said anything to me.
Right.
But a lot of them also are international. There's a lot of international students there, which I think is so inspiring, because a lot of them, English is their second or third language, and they're doing all of the stuff that we're doing, and they're doing all these scripts, and they are like, I can't imagine that. Like I have a hard time with memorizing the scripts and stuff. I cannot even imagine. It's so impressive to me.
Second language, and also like living over here and getting over here with the visa work and then saving up the money. It is amazing. Like I could never move to another country. I'm like, that's so hard.
Moving here for the school and like we all had to tell our stories in class yesterday, and like just some of the stories I heard were so inspiring. They were like, I'd never been to LA at all, not once, and then I moved here, and then I'm having a really hard time, and I was like, just call me and I'll tell you. Like we can go out and hang out together. I'll tell you.
Are you that person? Are you that person to want to connect?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if someone genuinely needs something, and I notice like, they're struggling, like I will. If you need restaurant recommendations, even if you don't want to hang out with me, like I will give you like
you'll text
whatever
them back.
You need. Yeah, of course.
Are you a good texter?
It depends on like what I'm doing in the moment. Yeah. Because sometimes I'll see a text and be like, I'll respond later, and then I forget. Yeah, I'm a bad texter. But typically, like I'm pretty good, I'd say.
Okay, so you're like so you're a good friend. So you're in this acting class, but you don't want to be in your TV show, but you want to be in film or TV.
Yes, and I'm working on feeling okay on camera, and I don't think I'm there yet, and I would rather I mean, not that this show is gonna, I don't know, it might take years, who knows,
or not. It could be next month. You never know.
Let's hope so.
It's the season, right? Aren't they like picking up scripts and stuff? I don't know.
We'll see. But I just think I would get distracted from like my creative vision for the show if I was like also worrying about how I looked, and I also don't know if I would perfectly embody. Maybe I'll audition
for your show.
I'll do an audition, and I'll also audition everyone else, and then I'll be like, okay, wait, I'm kind of the best one.
You should get consensus. You probably are. If you wrote the show, most people write the show with them in mind, you know, like Seinfeld or.
But I kind of flipped all the characters, so like they all kind of have a part of me, and also like are inspired by like some of my friends and whatever. So there's like 2 of the characters that I could possibly play.
I think you should do it if you're doing acting classes and you wrote it. I mean, that's why people write scripts. Like,
But
Rocky
a lot of people say that it is kind of hard to be in something that when you're creating it. I don't know if I don't think I would be like directing it or anything, but like I do have such a like personal attachment to it and I want it to be good, and I would just worry that like my acting wasn't good enough. We'll see how I feel at the end of my studies.
You're in a really prestigious school. Like I feel like if anybody's going to get you there, it would be this school.
I hope so. Yeah.
And then you know all the actors because you're with them in class. You're like, you'd be good for this role.
Yeah,
and this.
I'm like casting.
I
And
love
I'm
it.
like,
Yeah, you're
wait.
like you for this. What inspired you to like write a TV show? Like, how do you even begin? Like, what do you movie magic? Like, what are you writing on?
No, I literally wrote it on pages on my iPad.
No,
I wrote the whole pilot.
How do you know how to write like the stuff that's not the dialogue? I don't know what it is. Like exterior, move right in a coffee shop.
So I'm gonna like have to go through it with like I'm trying to right now work on connecting with like experienced screenwriters and like put it in the proper format and the proper like screenplay whatever. Like there's like a specific font, the specific way everything's written.
Yeah, it's complicated.
I almost wrote it like I was writing like a book, because I do write like stories and random things. I've done that my whole life, but I've just kind of started doing it more like with the intention of maybe possibly putting it out into the world one day.
But you're writing the dialogue back and forth. There's no in between.
Yeah,
like,
so
it's just...
there's dialogue, and then it'll be like scene switches to blah 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 blah. She
see.
notices that he has this. He picks up this book and show whatever. It's like,
oh my
so I'm
gosh.
writing out the actions, but it's kind of like writing a book in a way. You just format it really differently.
What a talent. Because like to do that, you kind of have to like just be, you have to like pretend like you're with yourself. You're just acting with yourself back and forth. Like how do you hear the lines of the other characters? Like I always think that's crazy how people do that.
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm also lucky that I have so many crazy stories that I'm using for this. Like I'm using my friends' stories and my stories, and it's kind of inspired by my life.
Okay, so it's easier.
I mean, not even inspired by my life, but like I can use it's based in LA and it's about women in their late 20s and early 30s. Ooh. So I know all about it. Yeah. And I have all of the material. So it's kind of it's write about what you know. You know, I always thought that writing about what you know could possibly be a cop-out. That's why I was like, well, I can only really write about the characters that are like really similar to me or like similar to someone that I know, and I'm always pulling from real life. And then I read Gillian Flynn. She wrote Gone Girl and these other Sharp Objects and Dark Places. Those are the 3 novels I read of hers. And I was like, why are these all based in Missouri? They're all based in Missouri. I looked her up. She's from Missouri.
Yeah.
And I was like, if one of my favorite authors can write about what she knows and be so successful, and I just love her work, I can write about what I know. And I'm going to write a TV show, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to write a book, and it's all going to be based in LA. And I don't care.
Well, you can always move over to Napa because you're from there too. So you can also do. That's true. I saw Napa movies are my favorite. Like Sideways, I love movies that take place up there. So it could totally be.
My next project is I'm going to write a movie about Napa.
I love the Napa. I love the whole Napa of it. But LA is like endless. I mean, you could just write so many shows.
Oh my God. When my show is made, you have to make a cameo in it.
Oh, yes, I would love to. I will do anything to get on screen. My best friend just wrote the movie Thanksgiving, and I was like, how did you not put me in that movie? I've known him for 15 years. And I was like, how did you not put me in that movie? Because my goal is to be in a movie. But
I auditioned for that.
And you didn't get it?
No, so what happened was I did an audition, and it's all like self-tapes and everything. And then I was at a wedding in Jamaica, and I got a call being like, hey, like you have a director read with Eli Roth. No. And I was like, what? And I had to do it on, everything was like Zoom. And I did the Zoom. It was my first like real director read situation.
With Eli?
Yeah, I was so nervous. I didn't have my computer, my like Zoom had to update, and I had to like borrow my friend's computer, and I was like late, and I was so nervous. I did not do a good job. I know I didn't. And I had my friend Kelsey reading with me, and like she's never done that before. So it was like not the most ideal situation. I was like in Jamaica. Like I think I like had like a pina colada at the beach before that. So I was like I was like, yeah. But also so many people. It was actually for the one that Addison played, but she was already connected to the movie when they were saying like, oh, Addison's going to be in it. But I don't know.
Maybe a different role or something she was going to play.
I think they maybe originally thought that she was going to play like the main girl, and then like they were like, oh, she's better as this person. Right. Because there's two. There's like I think Jessica and Gabby or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know what this exact situation was, but I knew she was already like attached to the movie. But that was the part that I auditioned for. So
you would have been so well. His excuse to me was like, well, we can only have 3 American actors, and I was like, There's like Patrick Dempsey, Addison Rae. I was like, really? Is that why? Personally, I don't think Eli likes. My first celebrity encounter was Eli Roth when I was 18 at MySpace, and he introduced me to Quentin Tarantino because he saw my MySpace page. I was obsessed with Quentin Tarantino, and he's like, come to this place here, and he met me. And he's always been super nice to me, but I was like, low key, I feel, because Jeff's like, I tried, and I was like, I've known them since that Thanksgiving trailer came out in 2007. So I was like, how did I not get in this movie? I was a little bitter. I'm still bitter about it, but I'll keep talking about it forever.
Whatever.
You would have been so good though, because you're such a cinephile in general. But I remember, I don't know if you even know, but I remember you did a horror movie music video, and they had called me. They're like, oh yeah, it's for Olivia. And I think I met the guy who called me. He's one of Zach Sang's friends who was here.
Yeah, he used to work for my management company. He doesn't work for them anymore, but his name's Max.
Okay, because he's like, I was the one who called you about the liver. I'm like, what happened to that video? I keep getting close to getting in videos, and then I'm like, what happened with that?
So what happened was my friends, I always asked them to be in my music videos, and a lot of times they will bail on me last minute. And that's happened quite a few times, and I've had to scramble. And so for this video, all of them were like, we're going to do it. And I just had this, I was like, I just feel like they're good. They're not actually going to do it. They're not like fully confirming. Like, I'm such a planner. And like, I just was like, if they don't pull through, like the video is ruined. So I was like, how can I have someone, like I need, if this can't happen, if I can't have all my friends, how can I still make this video iconic? So I was like, of the people, like, and we were like, close. Why don't we ask Trisha?
That's crazy.
So
I'm so excited.
Asked you, and I know it would have been so amazing. But then
everyone
lo
came
and behold, everyone was like, actually, no, we're coming. And they confirmed. And I was like, oh, okay. So
Story of my life. I know. It was last minute. And then I remember I was so excited. And then like the night before, it's like, actually, it's not happening. It's like, no.
I know.
It always happens to me. That always happens. I always get so close. I was just like, oh my God. Like when they were talking about Thanksgiving, I was like, this is my time. I'm going to shine. Because I've like loved that movie since 2007. And I was like, oh, just kidding. He's like, maybe they're picked up for a sequel. Maybe in the sequel, me and Olivia.
Yeah, we can make our own. We should make our own.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because you are so like movie based. You know so much about movies. I know so much about movies. I'm so down for that. Yeah, definitely. Like even though it's like cliche, maybe because I'm seeing you in the blonde wig, it's like a sorority horror movie you should be in or something.
Yeah,
like I feel like that's
Queens.
your vibe. Yeah. Love that show. It's so good. It's crazy how much knowledge you have. I was watching an interview where you're talking about like a Russ Myers film, and I was like, how did you know about like 60s or like the 1939 film you were talking about that you loved? And I was like, did you just watch them so much as a kid? Were you home a lot? Like,
because I wanted to get into acting and because I wanted to get into screenwriting, I was like, I need to have more film knowledge. And so I just kind of spent a lot of time watching whatever looked interesting to me. And I would like do some Googling, like, oh, what are some important like films for if I want to learn this or this vibe, whatever. And then I would just watch them. And honestly, there's a lot of movies that I still haven't seen. I have long lists of things I need to get through. There's some iconic movies that I've never seen. But
like, what's a big one that you haven't seen everyone talks about? That you're like, I should see.
Except for Wolf of Wall Street, I've never really seen any Scorsese movies.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Wow, there are so many good ones.
I know.
I'm not usually like that person because there's a lot of ones I haven't seen, like Goodfellas and stuff like that. But Martin Scorsese has really good ones.
I know. I'm like, I have a list going of all the things that I need to watch.
Taxi Driver. That's my favorite.
I know. That's top of my list.
I did a music video with that. Mine was like a $200,000. I spent like $10 million literally on music videos. So when you were talking about music videos earlier, and I was like in debt. I was like paying off taxes still to this day from them because I was like, oh, I should pay taxes first.
No, but I love that. Like me and Madison were talking earlier. Like you are so the most amazing thing about you is that you just do whatever you want to do and whatever you like, you just make it happen for yourself.
I try.
And I love it.
Thank
I'm
you.
just like you look like you're just having so much fun. Like,
I was, but also being financially
good.
Responsible now. I'm like a little more. I want to do music videos. I still want to do it. I'm like, oh, I see things like, oh, I want to recreate that, but they're expensive.
Well, let's get some investors.
Yes, I'm down.
Let's get some investors and let's do it.
I'm always down. Maybe I will in the future. But with movies in general, I feel like what movie would you want to play? Like, what's a role that you're like, oh, I want to like play that if you were?
I don't know. I really don't know.
There's not like one movie where like, I should have been that role, even if it was before your time or something.
I know that there definitely is, and my mind goes blank whenever I'm asked a question. Like I have like I keep referencing Madison. My friend
Madison's here and wearing pink too.
We have a list of our favorite movies, and we add to it all the time. Or like movies we should watch, and we like it's a shared note that we have.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I always pull my lists up whenever someone asks me a question. The other day, I made a list of my niche interests just in case.
I saw it was like sumo oranges and goggles and yogurt. I was like, oh wow, okay. Wait, why were you doing that? I saw it. And I was like, let me screenshot. Maybe she wants to talk about that on the podcast because it was just a couple of days prior. I was like, all right, let's talk about it.
Yeah, no, I just was like, in case anyone ever asks me like what I'm into or like tell me about yourself. Like, okay, I like these things.
Well, no one needs to ask now because you posted on your story. I screenshot it. I was like, I know what she's into.
I'm still thinking of more, and I know they're gonna come. But yeah,
but those are your current interests, is like goggles and stuff.
Well, no, these are just things that I like.
Just like.
I just like the goggles thing is just because like whenever me and my friends go on like a beach vacation or anything, like I won't go in the water unless I have goggles on because I want to be able to see, and I have a weird thing with my eyes. Like I can't put contacts in, I can't do anything.
I can't either.
I will freak out. So I have to wear the goggles so that I can see underwater because I want to see underwater.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So catch me in the water. Like my friends are all like taking photos and they like look really cute and they're like, and like I'm in the like background like with my head just barely out of the water like this with the goggles.
But the goggles are in everything. I actually have your list here. I wrote it down. Do you remember the other one? Oh, here. We have
90 Day Fiancé is the other one.
Oh, 90 Day Fiancé. You had yogurt goggles, Sumo Orange Season, 90 Day Fiancé, including the spinoffs. These were categorized as your niche specific interests.
Yes.
90 Day Fiancé, which I love. I love talking about
good.
this to anyone who... Are you watching all the seasons now?
Yeah, so I just actually went back and realized that I haven't watched like the 90 Day Fiancé original show. Like I haven't watched the last couple of seasons. So I'm watching the most current one, season 10 right now.
Which one is that? Because I know I watch all of them, but there's so many.
It has the trans woman and the guy from Moldova, I think.
Oh, okay, yes.
Who she calls Justin, but his real name is like Igor or something.
Oh, she's super blonde, right?
Super blonde, looks like a Barbie.
Yes,
like,
yes, okay, yes. We watched that one. That's so wild. Like you just like leave your life here. I love it.
People
Would you ever
do anything for love. No, I am like not really
adventurous?
No, I love traveling, but I wouldn't like move somewhere for like a relationship.
Oh, right. You said you don't want to be in a relationship. You're like, I'm definitely not going to move or like give up my career. That's so interesting. So you like to date, you just don't want to be. So when you go on dates, not to go back to dating, but I am so interested. I think that's just everyone more like curious, especially people who don't date or don't date like celebrities. You're like so curious. When you go on dates, then do you just tell them like, I just want casual?
Well, no, because I'm open to like, if I met someone that I felt was so amazing and so perfect for me and we clicked and like I just don't want to date anyone where I have to change anything about my life because I'm so independent. I own my house. I have a dog. I have everything that I could ever need. I have this career that not a lot of people understand. And I make my own money. And a lot of guys are not interested in that, by the way, which I've learned. That
insecurity, I
feel like with men, me and my friend Lydia were talking about this. A lot of men want a young sex lump. That's what we call them, a YSL.
What is it?
A young sex lump. Like just a girl that's just like
down for.
They just sit there and they're just like hot, and then they don't challenge you at all.
Yeah,
and it's like a lot of girls. I don't think any girl is naturally like that, but I think a lot of girls will become that.
Oh, for sure.
To get a man to like them.
Yep.
I'm not about that. I also am bisexual, but I have not dated a lot of girls. I've been on a couple dates. The thing about girls is that there's always so much history with exes. And like, I was talking to this one girl in Nashville and I like don't want to air her out. I'm sorry. Okay. But we were like making out in a bar and like hanging out with her like friend group. And I knew that she like lived with this other girl. Right. And I kind of got the vibes that they there was some vibe happening. The girl, we were making out and the other girl runs out crying. Oh. And I was like, oh no,
the drama.
What have I done? Apparently they were like dating for a while and then they're like, no, but like we haven't like, we don't hook up anymore. And it's like, we're just friends, but they like still live together. It's just like, I'm sorry. I don't want to insert myself in this, especially because like, I'm not looking for like a long-term relationship right now. And like, that's not, so I don't want to just like, this isn't worth like me hurting someone.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot. And also, there's like, have you ever heard the like stereotype like U-Haul lesbian? Like,
no, what's a U-Haul lesbian?
So like, it's
lipstick.
just like this like stupid like thing that basically, it's like a joke that girls that date girls will like meet each other, fall in love, and like the next day they have a U-Haul and they're moving in together.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like that's with hetero or anything
but right? It's especially like women just like they're like
they fall in love.
Typically women are more relationship oriented than men. That's just kind of how it is. So when it's a woman in a relationship, I've just found that like it's a lot more serious, a lot faster, and I'm not ready for that. So every time I've like been on dates with girls or anything, it's either there's crazy ex drama that I don't want to get involved with. It's like they're still living with them, or they're like we're friends, and it's like, no, you're not. You still have some crazy emotional thing happening that I like don't want to be second to, and then or they're really I like you so much, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I maybe we should go on a couple more dates first before we start. Like, I'm just not that person.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also hard.
I like you, but like it's not like that. Like,
and the periods too are hard, you know? I feel like they never sync up. They're like, eventually they sync up if you're around each other, and they never did. So you're just like only intimate like 1 week a month. I tried it a couple times and I'm just like, I just can't. Like a full on relationship. It was just really hard. But I think you came out on Twitter with that, right? Is that how you came out?
Probably. I don't know.
I feel like I saw that and I was like, oh, okay. What a way to come out. You're like, I'm bi.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's like I also like I hate saying bisexual because it's like I feel like I more closely identify with like pansexual just because how picky I am with dating. I'm so attracted to like the energy of a specific person. It has nothing to do with anything else other than their energy. Obviously I have to be physically attracted to them to some degree. Yeah. But sometimes the physical attraction can like come when you like their personality. Yes. Like that's happened to me so many times.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm attracted just to individual people. Like I'm not walking around like, wow, men are so hot, or like walking around like, oh, women are so. I mean, actually, yeah, women are so hot, but not. But just in like a general way.
Women are like, men, yeah. I've never found a man like attractive. Women I do. I never find like men. I like overall over time I'm like, okay, they're attractive, but I don't like see a guy and I'm like, oh, he's so hot.
You know what though? I will sometimes what gets me, the only thing that can ever get me is when people like make like thirst edits on TikTok and stuff. Like
wait, what?
Like that, you know, like just edits of people like looking hot and they'll put like in slow-mo to like music. Like
I don't know if I've seen thirst edit TikTok.
It's like thirst traps basically, but like edits. So wait, there was one. My friend texted me last night. It was like not the like Gillian Anderson thirst trap edit you just reposted.
Who did a Gillian Anderson one? That's so random.
I reposted this.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, she's hot.
You reposted it? Wait, are you into it? Is she single? Is she a director? Who is she? I love Gillian Anderson.
She's in Sex Education. That's how I like. That's what I like know her as, that role. But she was like the mom. She's definitely like a MILF. Like older, I would not date her.
You don't have mommy issues.
A little out of my. Well, I have mommy issues, but not in that way.
But maybe that's why you like her. You're like, ooh, okay.
I was like, wait, this is like a really good edit. Right. But yeah, so things like that. Like sometimes I'll see like when 2020, like when we were all like locked up in our homes, and I never thought Timothée Chalamet was hot.
Yes.
And then I would see because you remember that? Okay, this edit you might remember. It was like the song to the Melanie Martinez song. It was like da 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 da. There's this one video.
No, but I love the singing. Keep singing.
There's one video of him that went so viral, and it was like him doing the dance from like Call Me by Your Name, but it's like slow mo, and it had everyone in a chokehold, and it was just all over my for you page. And I made a video, and I was like, does anyone else have this problem where like they didn't find Timothée Chalamet attractive, and then they joined TikTok, and then they were like, wait, he's really hot.
Back in 2020, I mean, he must have been like so young because he looks so young now. He looks like a kid.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know. I mean, he's like 27 or 28.
Oh, I know. He was like 20 now.
I know, he looks really young.
I've only seen him in Wonka.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing I've seen him. I love it though. Did you see Wonka? It was so good.
No, I haven't seen it yet. It's on my list.
He's kind of everything in that movie.
I know, I need to see it.
Do you find anyone on Raya that you're just like, oh, I'm such a fan? Like, did you have boys and girls on Raya? Can you set to both? Okay. So who's your like celebrity girl crush and celebrity boy crush?
The thing about girls on dating apps is that it's like, hi, you're so pretty. Like, I love your style. And I'm like, are you flirting with me? Or like, so with dating,
they're on a dating app, probably.
Yeah, they are, but like, I just never, it's like, guys can be so much more forward and like, I'm taking you on a date and blah, blah, blah. So it's always easier to date men because they are, and because I'm so like passive in my dating, I'm just like, yeah, I guess if someone asks me on a date, I'll go and I'll see how it is. And then usually I don't like it, whatever.
You won't initiate. I feel like in a girl relationship, you'd be the initiator.
Yeah, but I can't. And like, I need someone to have that energy, like that like pursuing energy. So that's another problem that I run into. I randomly haven't seen many like girl celebrity crushes on Raya, at least, but
you're also giving Hilary Duff right now. When you said that, I was like, because I remember Hilary Duff was on Raya, and I'm like, you're giving Hilary Duff right now. It's very that. She was on it. She was on it for a minute.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I did actually. I mean, I met Pete on Raya.
Oh, he's on Raya.
He was. He's definitely not anymore.
Oh.
And I met.
He might be.
Maybe. And I met this other. I'm not gonna name drop because I literally can't. But I met this actor.
Can you tell me and I'll bleep it? I promise I'll bleep it. Okay.
This actor, he's in like, he's like not super, super famous, but like the people that like him, he has like a very, like, he has a lot of fans.
Yeah.
And he, anyway. I don't need to get too into details, but I was like, oh my God, he's on Raya. And his profile is like very like conspicuous. Like he is like, or inconspicuous, right? That means like it was like whatever. Sorry,
like like you wouldn't know. I don't know. Yeah,
inconspicuous. So it's like his photos, you can like half see his face, but I was like, oh my God, it's totally him. I matched with him. I messaged him, didn't respond for like 2 weeks, and then he responded randomly, and he was like drunk. he was like, it's 6 a.m. and I'm like, I just got home from the bar. Like, is it weird if like I FaceTime you right now? And I was like,
and you were
absolutely not. It's weird. Well, he lives in the UK, so.
Oh, okay. I got it.
So I gave him my number. He FaceTimed for like 20 minutes, and he was just like, yeah, I don't know. Sorry if this is weird. Like, you're just really hot. And I was like,
wow. How do you have the confidence after that?
I don't know. Wow. Well, because in my mind, I'm like, well, he only saw me on FaceTime, and if he sees me in real life, he'll see all the things that are ugly and weird about me. And then
And what do you say to that? Someone's like, wow, I'm sorry, you're just so hot.
I'm like, thank you.
Is that what you do on FaceTime? Or do you get into it? You're like, yeah?
Yeah. No, I don't.
No?
I don't do that.
Okay.
I'm definitely like, like I'm awkward about it.
Okay, that's cute though. I like that.
And then I ended up going on one date with him, and then I was so nervous. I was so, because it's that power. It's like, oh my god, if this, like, I have like a crush on this man, like, because I've watched his movies and show, and I just like, but it's like I have a crush on like the characters now. Like, I don't really actually know him at all, and I know now looking back, like, our personalities are like so probably not compatible at all, and I'm like definitely not like his type, whatever. I mean, for at least like dating wise and like my like whole thing as whatever. Yeah. It's not his vibe. We went on one date. I got a little drunk because I was so nervous, and so I remember like obviously what happened, but there like I was drunk enough to like go home and be like, wait, was that like really bad? Like, I don't know. He like walked me to my Uber, and then we like had like an awkward hug. He didn't like try to kiss me, didn't make any kind of move on me, but we were hanging out for like 3 hours, and it seemed like it was really nice. And then he like didn't text me for a few, like I texted him afterwards. I was in London, and I lost my luggage. So I didn't have luggage, and he wanted to hang out that night. And I was like, oh my God, I like bought clothes. I like didn't have my makeup, so I looked like so scary.
You went with no makeup? I love that.
Well, I bought like a couple things from like everything was closed by the time I landed. It was like late. So I got like a couple little things. Like I had like a couple like emergency makeup things in my, purse that I had with me on the plane. So I had like this like BB cream stuff that I put on and like whatever. But I didn't look my best. Like I wish I had like a little glam. And my outfit was just not great. But
where'd you get your outfit from? Like the airport or something, or what?
No, we went to like there was like 5 minutes left at like Uniqlo, and we like walked in, and I got like a puffer jacket, and like I had my like pants that I wore on the plane.
That's everything. That's a good story.
Some good basics.
Yeah.
I went on the date, and I just kept thinking like, oh my God, I like don't look my best right now. I am like so nervous. I know I'm being weird. I'm just saying stuff I shouldn't be saying, whatever. So I texted him afterwards, and I was like, by the way, I'm going to need a redo when I get my suitcase. And then he said, deal. And then we didn't talk. And then on like the night before I was supposed to leave London, he texted me and was like, hey, sorry, I was sick all weekend, but like whatever. And then I was like, oh, no worries. Like, and he told me on our FaceTime call that he was going to come to LA, like a couple weeks after that. So I was like, whatever, maybe I'll see you in LA.
Yeah.
And then didn't talk. I went back to LA, and like I knew he was coming, and I texted him, and I was like, hey, like if you're still coming to LA, like I'd love to see you. No response. And then he just unfollowed me on Instagram.
No.
But he unfollowed like a bunch of people too.
Okay.
So,
maybe it's like a glitch. I feel like people are unfollowing people.
No, he unfollowed. No, it was not a glitch. Okay, I love the delusion. Yes, it was a glitch. No, it was a glitch. No, he loves me, and he thought I was the one. And he was like, oh my God, this girl is like literally so perfect for me, and I need her, but like I'm not ready. I'm not in the right headspace.
Yeah, think for like that.
And I'm gonna save her for later, and then I'm gonna unfollow her because seeing her post is just like triggering me because she's so hot and she's so cool, and I love her, but we're just like we can't be together yet.
Yeah, that's the
and
vibe.
we like live in different cities. It's just like it's not gonna work yet. But like one day.
That's what you have to say in your head, I feel.
Yeah.
Because honestly, also like you don't want a guy that just because you don't look your best doesn't want to call you or something like that.
So real. And but also I'm so insane that like afterwards I was like, oh my God, he didn't like try to have sex with me. Like not that I would have done it, but like he didn't even like try.
That's like
I was like, am I ugly? Am I disgusting? Am I so undesirable? I just went through everything. You can ask Madison. She was like I was texting her like, what do you think went wrong? What do you think I did? Do you think this was weird that I did? Oh my God, why do you think blah, blah? And it's like, I don't even like that. I went on one date with this man. I don't even know if I like him.
The same way.
Why am I tripping out about this rejection?
It's awful. And the sex is the worst part. It's like when they don't want to have sex with you. It's like, wow.
It's like, why? Maybe he's just a nice guy. Maybe he's a nice guy. But like, why didn't you try?
No, that's like the biggest dagger. I always thought that too. No, most of the guys are nice and like they want to be respectful.
No, he was really sweet. He was really sweet.
Oh, was this recent?
This was in November. Yeah.
Oh man, was that your last dating?
Actually,
or are you dating currently?
I mean, I've been like I just like go on a couple dates with people, and then it just like kind of turns into nothing. I went on I don't know what, it's on accident. I swear I don't have a fetish, but like I've been dating like actors, kind of like going on dates with actors. There was like a guy, another London UK guy, but he like moved out here. I was talking to him like on just FaceTime and text for a really long time while he was there. And then he came out here and it was very like, he like, the only, we kept trying to hang out. And then he was like, oh, I'm too tired. Like I can't. And then he would like keep texting me, and he would send me like videos of him like playing guitar and be like, "Do you like this?" He was such a freak, honestly.
Oh, wait, why?
He was a freak. He was a freak.
Oh, you said that because he played guitar.
I'll explain why he was a freak.
Like he played guitar. What a freak.
No. That's not why he was a freak.
Okay.
First of all, he was just like kind of like an actor. You know how some actors are just like they're just like kind of weird. You have to be a little weird to be an actor, right? But his kind of energy was just a little like something's a little silly about you. I don't know. And so I played a few shows in August, and after the shows, my last show I wore a purple wig, and it was I had got an allergic reaction to the wig glue, so I had like welts on my forehead. I felt like shit. I just did 4 shows in a row, and I was so tired. And I was sitting at home, and I get a call from him, and he's like, "Hey, are you home?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, I'm actually in the area right now looking at houses. Can I come over?" Middle of the day. Madison was there.
Oh
and
my
I was
gosh.
I was like, sure. I like run to my bathroom, like put an outfit on, like try to look normal. And
you were so mean. Most people would be like, I'm busy. Like,
no, I was like, well, because we've been trying to hang out for so long.
Oh yeah, you're very accommodating.
And also, he was very like a lot of the conversations would turn really sexual over like text and stuff. Like he would get, and it was like weird sexual. It was like,
not hot.
No, like. Well, I'm not like that like sexual of a person unless I have an emotional connection to someone. Yeah. So, and I didn't have that with him yet. I hadn't met him. So I was just like, I don't know if I'm into that. Like he would try to like do some weird dirty talk stuff. And
but
I was
you weren't
like,
responding?
I was just like, ha ha. I was like, I would like send him up some like photos of my tits sometimes, but like.
Okay, I love that. So you got something. So you were into it a little bit.
Yeah, no, he was like really hot. He was really hot. But. No, yeah,
I love this story.
Like when I didn't know what to say, he would say something really sexual that was like kind of like I was like I want to put a finger in your ass. It's like oh okay, like I don't know about that one. And then I would just like send him a tit pic and be like ha ha.
You said ha ha.
No, I would
you
be
would
like
say ha ha.
I would be like lol, like that's crazy. Here's my tits.
Oh my god. You're not I don't like dirty talk either. It's weird. I'm
not, especially over text. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to read that. Like,
yeah.
Ew. And
when
also,
you respond, like, that feels good.
Yeah. Like, I can't do that. Ew.
Yeah.
So he was like very sexual, very like whatever.
Okay. So you were like, if he's coming over, and are you like shaving and stuff? Like, I'm anticipating.
No. I was like, I'm not gonna do anything with this because I'm very like I went through my phase of like when I would get drunk and hook up with guys that were way older than me when I was 17 and wake up and have no idea what happened and whatever sexual trauma we don't need to get into.
Oh my god.
So I'm over that. Yeah. I'm not like I'm waiting for marriage. No, I at least wait until I like kind of like or know the person, whatever. But he came over. Middle of the day, it was like he had like an hour. So it was like he came over and then he was being very touchy. He was like trying to touch my leg. Oh. And I'm a very like I'm really shy with that kind of stuff. Like I'll kind of like tense up and he was like he told me like texted me later and was like, I just feel like you're not into me because like I'm a very tactile person. Like if that like makes you uncomfortable. And I was like,
okay, weirdo. But that is weird.
Yeah,
that's
it was
creepy.
weird.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm confused. And then he came over one other time also during the day. And then like, he was like, show me your room. And I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah, he just wanted to like hook up.
Well, I don't know. I showed him my room and he like started making out with me a little bit and I was like, let's go back in there.
I think that's a hookup. I think
in the middle of the day.
Yes, yeah.
In the middle of the day, I'm sorry. That's
and they want to leave after like an hour.
I have an hour to kill. I'm gonna go over there and see if this girl wants to fuck me and then leave.
No, but I feel like people, especially actors. Was it Andrew Garfield?
No.
Oh. I don't know why that seems like him. I was trying to think the whole time. I'm like picturing. Okay.
No.
I heard he was on Raya, so I was like, well, he's British.
I don't think I set my age limit up that high.
Good for you. Good for you. How old is he? Is he old? I don't even know.
No, he's Andrew Garfield?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's like 40.
Yeah. No.
Mid-30s.
Oh, I thought he was your age.
No.
I guess you are so young. Oh my gosh, I don't know. For some reason, I think of him as being young. I don't know. I think
this is like, he's like not like huge. He's like in some, whatever. I don't want to give too much away.
I love that about you. I would say everything, especially at 24. I'm like, I dated this person. All the people I dated were like 50 though when I was like 20.
I don't need more. Like, Olivia Ryan claims she dated blah, blah, blah.
No, give us that. We need that.
Andrew Garfield. Add it to the roster.
No. I think that's iconic. I really do. I know some people feel some type of way about it, but I think it's like iconic. Like I think about all the people we dated. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I wish I was 24 dating all these people.
But like it's iconic to keep to myself.
Yeah. No, definitely.
I'll tell my friends.
It's iconic unless like, and then you think about being 17 and I'm like, oh, ew, that makes me so sad for you. When you told me on DM, I was like, oh my God. Like I was like, I just didn't know because you just look so much older. And I know people hear that all the time, like as young girls, but you do look older, like in a good way, like a mature way.
And I lived on my own since I was 16. So I was like, I'm so mature. It makes sense for me to date a 30-year-old man because I'm so mature. And of course they want me because I'm mature. And then you grow up a little bit and you're like, oh my God.
No, the 30-year-olds who want the 20-year-olds are like extra creepy.
And
you're
it's
like,
also
ugh.
like, what I realized is the 30-year-olds that want the 20-year-olds are less mature than the 20-year-olds.
Oh, of course, always.
Like,
I dated 50-year-olds that were like trying to live with me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's always the case.
Crazy.
Yeah. I feel, that's so much ick there. But
yeah.
So, but do you find it hard then because so many of your songs are so personable, like about cheating and all stuff? Like, do you find it hard to write songs when you're not getting your heart broken?
Oh, absolutely. And recently I've been kind of trying to tap into like my friends' stories or like other things that have happened in my life and or just going back and being like, okay, how did I feel about this person when I was 18? Like what am I holding on to from that? Or even writing from how I feel now about them. Like, oh my gosh, like I wasted all this time thinking about that person, or like, were you the love of my life? I want like just kind of getting a little bit more, getting broader and getting more creative with what my concepts are. Just because I don't have that like consistent like dating life right now, and that's fine. I think it's fine. You know, I've got content for days.
Yeah, you're like
I have stuff that I've written that I have never used, stuff that I wrote years and years ago, and I can tap back into how I felt in that moment and finish those songs. So I will never run out of things to write about. Yeah. But I do definitely feel more inspired and things flow more easily when I am like heartbroken and something is going on.
They're the best songs. Like there's not like a love song where I'm like, oh, I love this love song. I love all the sad and depressing songs. Like I love, was it Everybody Knew? You said was about someone who cheated on you like 1,000 times.
Oh my God, yes.
Was it actually 1,000?
No. Well, who knows? Really, who knows? Honestly,
you're like there were just so many girls. You're like someone here knew this person, and I'm like, how do you like? Yeah. Your sister, you said, was it your sister?
My sister lives in Wyoming.
Yeah. Like she knew someone who was sleeping with this guy, and it's like how?
She called me. I was in London with him, and I was at dinner with him and my friend from London. And
oh my God, nothing good happens in London for you.
No, actually, I love London so much. Like, I always have the best time. Have you ever heard the thing where people are like, everyone has their city where they're like the hottest version, the best version of themselves, and they always get hit on? London for me. Okay. I always get, like, I never get hit on ever, but I always get hit on when I'm in London.
Really?
Or like, because one of my best friends lives there. His name is Mac, and he will like go out together or whatever, and it's like couldn't be more platonic, but like we'll go out and people will like think we're together, and like guys will come up to me and be like, are you with her? Like she's really hot. Like
wow.
London is my city.
Oh my God, you need to come.
London is my city.
What, is that a Jake Paul song? Yeah, right?
England is my city. Yeah.
Nick Crompton. Who wrote that?
England is my city. Like that's not a city.
That's a good song. Who wrote it? Honestly, who was it? Nick Crompton? Is that what you said?
Nick Crompton. It was a Jake Paul song. It was Nick Crompton's verse.
Yeah, that was iconic. That song. They probably made a lot. Whoever wrote that for publishing.
I think that song like went platinum.
Really? Yeah. I wonder who wrote it. We should look it up. Who has the writing credits?
Maybe they all collabed on it. It was Team 10.
Kind of love that. Yeah. Anyways, I love that you quoted Nick Crompton. Throwback.
It was an accident. What was I saying?
So you, England, you had a good experience in England. You were with your platonic friend. People hit on you there. They think you're hot there.
Yes. Oh, my sister.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Because you were with the boyfriend in London.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't really have London trauma. I just have trauma with like him. So I have Paris trauma because we would go to Paris together because his dad lived in Paris. Oh. So like I mean, I don't want to say I don't like Paris, but like it's just like really traumatic for me there.
Is it Timothy Chalamet?
No, it's not. He's not. He's like French. He's not famous. The guy is. He's not. He's like. His dad's like a super billionaire though. So
okay, well.
But he just recently got indicted for 461 million euros of tax evasion and money laundering in France. But
the dad, not the son.
The dad. And it was so weird because I was always like, how does your dad have money? I'm so confused. He was like, he was a waiter and like now he worked his way up to the top. Wow. And I was like, you don't go from being a waiter to being worth like $50 billion to
win the lottery or something.
To you at least did not do it ethically. I'll tell you that. Yeah. And I know you got some offshore accounts. So and he would drive. I'm like going to get like a hit put on me for saying this. So. He would he would have to drive or fly into Switzerland and then drive through like a weird town to get into like a town that has no border, like sneak in to go to Paris. And I was like, why does your dad like not fly with us? And he was like, well, he just doesn't want people to know where he is. I was like,
Oh my God, it's like the Tinder swindler.
Yeah, literally. I was like, interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but then Dad got indicted, and I was like, oh, cool, he's going to jail. And so then I was eating brunch with my friends at Great White, and I was sitting at this table, and it was like me and like 7 of my friends, and Kelsey goes, Olivia, don't look now, but your ex is there. And I was like, and I see, or I like out of the corner of my eye, I see them. He's with his pregnant, his wife. He has a wife and child. We broke up almost 2 years ago now. So, but by the time we'd been broken up for a year, or like less than that, he already had a new girlfriend who was pregnant. And she's like, yeah, anyway, whatever. The baby's born and they're married.
Okay.
Love that for them.
Okay.
I'm absolutely positive they both cheat on each other. So I'm happy that they like have that.
Well, sometimes those people need to be together.
It's like
you
perfect.
know?
Like I genuinely, like I have no animosity towards him. Once I like figured out that he like actually was cheating on me, and like once I realized the kind of person that he was, that I for some reason didn't realize because I didn't have any prior knowledge of him. Everyone like knew that he was like that, but I didn't. And then once I got to know him and was like, oh shit, you're that person. Like I didn't have to get over him at all because I was like I was like, ew, no, like you're disgusting.
How did everybody know but you?
So basically, when I started dating him, I was on like a 2-week bender, right? So I was like drunk. It wasn't like a bender. It was like I was just going out every single night for like 2 weeks, and I made a point of it. I was like, I had all these events happening in 1 week, and I was like, you know what? Okay, we're just gonna get a party bus and we're gonna drink every day and whatever. It was like my friend's birthday. My friend Sydney had like a collab launch thing for clothing, whatever. So we just made it a whole thing, and I met him on like one of the first days, and then he was texting me like, let's hang out, and then I'd see him on some of these days, and then we eventually like ended up hooking up, and again, drunk hookup, and we were drunk. That's how I get into relationships, I guess. Like,
alcohol,
yeah,
always.
I was like, wait, I really like you, blah, blah, blah. Knew nothing about him. And all of the people that were around us, like we had some mutual friends and some overlap, but it wasn't any of my close friends. Like no one really knew like, oh, he's like a notorious cheater, womanizer, like terrible person.
Right.
And I don't think people kind of want to say that to you when you are starting to date someone. Like it's kind of hard. It's like people I don't know. It was kind of complicated. Like, and I kept kind of finding out like, I was at a bar and this girl told my friend like, oh, like Adam's cheating on Olivia, like whatever. And I get like pulled, and I think it was Stoss. She like pulled me and took me to the bathroom. I opened the door. All my friends are sitting there and like, we have to tell you something. And I was like, what? They were like, Adam's cheating on you. And I was like, what? We were supposed to go to Wyoming the next day to visit my sister.
Gosh.
So I was freaking out. I like walked up to him and I was like, I know you cheated on me. Let's go. And we went, and then he like was texting everyone that was allegedly involved in the story and calling them and whatever. So I believed him. He was like, read my text. I went through his whole phone. Like I couldn't find anything. We like called the people, texted the people, like whatever. And everyone was like, I just don't want to be. The girl that told my friends was like denying it. She was like, I didn't say anything. Like I don't want to be involved in this, because everyone was afraid of him because he's this rich guy. He gets everyone into every party. He's like friends with everyone, and he has all this pull at all these places. And all the people that we were around at the time were like the club rat people. It was like they just wanted to party, and they were just like not the right. They weren't good people, and they all were covering for him. Like this guy that was like supposed to, he was like claiming to be my friend. Like I was kind of pulled into his world and hanging out with his friends, and we were going out all the time. So I met all these people, and this guy, he was like, I love you so much. I love your music. Oh my God, let's be friends. Like it was like Adam's like gay best friend. And I was like, oh yeah, so fun. He's so nice, whatever. And then I find out that his roommate is the girl that was in medical school with my sister's friend.
Oh my God.
That was fucking him. And she was bragging about fucking him. And I'm like, I'm sorry. You're a doctor? You're going to be a doctor? I'm
that's
sorry.
scary, isn't it?
If someone like... Oh my God. And like she was proud. She was proud. She was like, haha, yeah, it's so funny. Like it's one thing to like hook up with someone that's in a relationship and not know.
Yeah.
But to like proudly be a mistress. What are you getting out of this?
People
what are you getting?
I don't know. That is a good question. I have no idea. Because people really do get proud of that stuff, you know? I guess because they think like, oh, he's dating you, so you're this hot, young, like celebrity, and then they're like just a doctor in Wyoming. I mean, doctors are great. But
no, she was at UC Irvine.
Oh, okay. So she's just, I don't know. I mean, people just want to be like, oh, well, he's dating. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're with someone that's hot and you can pull that person, you feel like, wow, I pulled them.
Oh, you pulled him. He would literally fuck a fucking McChicken. Yeah. Okay? He has fucked everyone in the world. He is a sex addict. He's disgusting. Like, you should not be proud. You should not be proud.
People
babe.
are. I dated so many sex addicts in my early 20s. I think like they're just filled, Hollywood's filled with them. Yeah. The rich ones. Maybe you should just try dating someone maybe that's like an accountant or something.
But, he was a finance pro. He worked at Merrill Lynch.
But he was like the son of like a billionaire or something. Oh, well, okay, not an accountant. Date like I don't don't know who you would go with at this point.
I don't know. Well, the problem is like they have to understand my lifestyle, you know, and like they have to get it. Because sometimes when I'm talking to people that aren't like, they don't even have to be in my world necessarily, but they just like have to kind of get it a little bit. Because I'll be talking and I'll be telling a story and I'll say someone's name and they're like, oh, you've met that person. I'm like, I know them. They're my friend. And it's like, and they think that I'm like name dropping, or they get like really confused because they like, people view celebrities all in different, everyone views celebrities in such different ways, right? So you have to like be with someone that understands all of this. Like, and it doesn't all have to be casual. Like we were saying, there's some people that I fucking idolize, but it's like, you have to be okay with like, knowing that I can hang out with these celebrities and they might be these like like if I were dating someone and they were like jealous that I was hanging out, like thinking like, oh my God, you're gonna go this celebrity. Oh yeah. Like I wouldn't do that. I'm not interested in that. So.
It's hard to find guys who like don't think that, you know what I mean? That would be totally confident in whatever. Like I think I could hang out the weekend and Moses would be fine. He'd be like totally like confident about it. That's my newest obsession. I wouldn't even say crush, just obsession. Yeah. Yours is nice. Radiohead. Right? Wait, you know The Weeknd?
Yeah.
Oh my God, have you met him? Tell me more. Yeah. Have you dated?
No, I have not dated him. I met him.
He seems nice.
No, he's in a relationship.
He is now?
Yeah.
Oh, with the model.
Yes.
Yeah. Is he still? Because I
think so. I think so. I don't know.
Someone's like, oh, he didn't like her post the last couple posts.
Oh, I mean, who knows? I don't know.
He always gets models like Bella Hadid.
He's a really nice guy. Yeah, he came to my friend Stoss had like a party one time and he came over and we were chatting in the corner about music for a little while and gave me his number and it was really sweet.
Did you ever hit him up?
Kind of. He texted me afterwards and was like, hey, like, just be careful tonight. Like, I saw that you were drinking a lot. Just like, be careful.
What?
Like, yeah, he was really nice.
This?
This was like 2020. Yeah.
Was he single then? Maybe he was trying to like.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I don't think it was like that. Honestly, he was just like really sweet.
The biggest celebrity in the whole world.
He was like, really sweet.
Oh my God, that makes me want to cry. Oh my God, you could have been an Idol. Did you watch The Idol? I asked everyone this.
I auditioned for The Idol too. I did, but I auditioned for the assistant, and then I got sent this, and I read it, and I was like, did they write this for me? Because the girl's name is Jocelyn. I was like, wait, you guys, like they like sent me the script personalized. They personalized this for me. They want me. But like, and it's so funny because, oh my gosh, have you ever seen that girl on TikTok that's just like the worst? She's such a hater. It's this blonde girl, and she just makes videos hating on everyone for everything. And she's like, everyone hates her. Like, no, but she keeps doing it because it's like shock value.
Okay.
Oh my God, that girl. I wish I have her so blocked, like so ridiculously blocked that I don't remember her name. But she's this blonde girl, and she just makes these videos, like just shitting on everyone.
Like celebrities or just people?
Mainly celebrities, influencers, everyone. And she made a video one time. I went on TikTok Live, and I was like playing like unreleased songs and whatever. And it was like right after I'd gone independent. And she made a video about me, and she was like, you know that a celebrity has totally fallen off when they're on TikTok Live, like leaking their own music. Like this is so embarrassing. Also, she said that she auditioned for The Idol as the assistant, and she didn't even get it. Like that's so embarrassing. And I was like, do you know how many people audition for that shit? Also, Rachel Sennett was the perfect choice. I'm not the vibe for the assistant. I didn't have that. I wasn't the right energy. You should have been Jocelyn. I
love Lily Rose Depp, but you should have been Jocelyn. No, I mean, I never heard the name Jocelyn before your song, and then it was Jocelyn. I was like, that's interesting.
Well, and also I'm like, I've met him a few times. Like maybe he checked up on me, saw the name Jocelyn, and was inspired.
See, that's believable. That is believable. I think it's about me, and I never even met him. And I think, I think this is about me because they had that song, World Class Sinner, where she's like, I'm just a freak, yeah. And I had freak a freak to get. I'm like, this kind of sounds a little bit like me.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, even if it might be true and it might be delusional, but like, we should both believe those things.
I know. Yeah. I like to believe it. Yeah, but I feel like any girl in LA will think The Idol is about them because it is true. I mean, you meet those like weird creeper. I would have gagged if you were. I feel like you could have played any part on that, but
like there were. I just like. It's so crazy that someone could be like, oh, she auditioned and she didn't even get it. I'm like, first of all, I wasn't even an actor at that. Like, I wasn't. I didn't.
Wait, how did you get the audition?
So I've been with like. My agents have always sent me like scripts to do like self tapes, right?
What?
So I never like took classes, I never did anything, but like I'll get reached out to, or like they'll reach out to the agency and be like, hey, we're looking for someone for this, and if they think that it fits like me, like my personality, because I did tell them like I'm open to acting, I'm interested in it. So I'll get sent things every once in a while. I've done like a few self tapes over my time. Obviously, I told you about the Thanksgiving thing. So I've done a few things.
Those are like huge things.
Yeah, I've done a few cool ones. I did one for the new Superman thing, but but I obviously didn't get it. But they say that it takes 100 self-tapes to book something. Also, I was completely untrained. So I was like, I'm proud of myself that I even got as far as I did. Yeah. So I don't know. I was just like, that's so crazy that someone is saying that it's embarrassing that I didn't get the part. Like, hello. Like,
I don't know
what
who
do you
that
mean?
Is, but they're
She's
probably
the worst.
Yeah, they're probably like in the middle of nowhere. Just that. It's always those people who have no idea what's going on. Like the fact that you even got the audition for like that huge show. With,
I know,
like,
it's crazy. Like I'm honored. I'm not. I also auditioned for Mean Girls.
The musical?
Yeah, for Karen. But I was 2 weeks late to submit it, and also like Avantika is like the most perfect. She did so well that I'm like, it's like again, it's like I'm not mad. Also like. It's just not like.
What did you audition with? What song?
Halloween every single day.
Oh, that's so good! Oh my god!
Also, world peace.
Maybe world peace should be first. Yeah, that
be who you wanna be and sexy.
I don't know the words, but go. I wanna be and hot.
What are the other words? I don't even know.
You know which one I was sad they didn't have in the movie is the plastics.
Meet the Plastics.
Yeah, where it's like, my name is Karen.
They cut it to just, my name is Regina George.
Oh, you would have been so good at that, though, too. I love Renee Rapp, but you would have been
Renee
so good
was perfect.
But that was actually really perfect the way you sing. I love people who sing, and I love that you sing. Anytime I want someone on the podcast, I'm like, will you sing with me? And everyone wants to sing. I love that you sing.
No, we should do it. We should do a little duet after this for TikTok.
Okay, for sure. What will we sing? I don't know. Oh my god, it's so much pressure. Because usually I always want to and everyone saes no, so then someone who's down to do it.
Well, like, we should absolutely. I came in with it. I was like, I'm going to ask her to duet with me.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I get really nervous though. I know my dream is like duet with like every guest that comes on, and no one ever wants to duet with me. So, especially one that can sing. Usually people who are singers don't want to sing live for a number of reasons, I guess. You know, maybe one, there's just like, no, you're not paying me. But also I feel like maybe, you know, if you're not right there in the space in the zone, you don't sound as good, and then they feel.
I'm not worried about if I sound bad, and if we're just doing like a little TikTok video, like if I sound bad, I don't care, because like I know like I have videos of me singing live that are good. Like no one's perfect all the time, and also I'm not like, I'm gonna give it my best performance of my life.
But
like,
I love that about you, because I know someone. Do you watch a guy? I don't know his name. He does impersonations on TikTok, and he goes to the red carpets and does impersonations in front of people.
No.
Oh, he went to the Golden Globes, and he'll do Martin Short with Martin. Anyways, he did one for Austin Butler. He was doing Austin Butler for Austin Butler, and he's like, will you sing a little If I Can Dream? And Austin's like, how about you sing? I'm like, oh, that's so embarrassing. I mean, it's not embarrassing, but that's something that would happen to me. It's like, okay. So then he just sang for Austin Butler as Elvis, and I was like, oh God, okay. But I was like, why would Austin Butler do that? I'm like, well, maybe he like doesn't feel confident like singing a cappella on the spot.
No, and I totally get that. I just like, I have some really bad performances out there. Like my first. This wasn't my first, but like one of my first live performances of I Hate You, I Love You when I was like 17 was at this like morning show thing in Italy, in Milan, and I was sick, and I gave the worst performance of my life. It was so bad. I mean, I was 17, like who cares? Yeah. But I'm like, after that, I was like, okay, I can handle this. If I have a bad performance, who cares?
Did people say anything? Were people
commenting?
commenting?
There were like a couple mean comments, but it was like most people were like, this isn't even that bad, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm also very, very, very hard on myself, as we've established. So,
with the singing too? I feel like singing.
With everything.
Really?
With everything.
But you have the confidence in singing. You're like, I know I'm a good singer. Like, that's one thing.
No, I thought I was a horrible singer.
Wait, what?
How are
you performing if you think you're a bad singer?
Well, I don't. It's like I know, like I can be objective for a second and be like, okay, I know, like people tell me that I'm pretty all the time. Okay, I can realize like I'm probably pretty, right? But then I look at myself and I'm like, well, I have these things, and I just notice all these things that I don't like about myself, and then I spiral, and I'm like, is everyone lying to me? Whatever. But objectively, I can take a step back, and I'm like, okay, I'm a professional singer. People tell me that I'm good. I have songs that have done well. I must be good at singing.
Yeah, so you can, okay, right? So yeah, you see it. You're successful, so.
But in my insecurities, I'm like, no. So.
Yeah, I get that.
But that's just, we're working on it.
Yeah.
My sister used to come in my room and be like, you sound like shit when I would sing. But later on in life, she told me that it was because she just wanted to do her homework and she wanted me to stop singing because she was like distracted. And I was like, well, you didn't have to tell me I was a bad singer, because you know what? I carried that with me for the rest of my life.
Oh my God, so it's in your head.
I sang in secret. I sang in secret for years until if I Hate You, I Love You didn't blow up the way that it did, I would not have pursued music.
Really?
No, never in a million years, because I thought it was bad.
Wow.
Because I thought it was literally horrible. We used to do in theater in high school, when we would do auditions, I would audition for the ensemble.
Wait, what?
I would audition in a group of people.
You would never go for the main?
I didn't do a solo. I didn't even do a solo audition.
What?
I would go in with a group of people and we would sing together.
That's so wild.
Because I was too insecure of my singing.
No, I'm so secure with my singing and I can't sing at all. Like I can't even see a pitch. People are like, you're off pitch or key or whatever you are. I'm like, no.
You have
so
something about your voice though. It's like some people sing and it's like unlistenable. Like no, like I would like, we were listening to your music in the car ride on the way here.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing.
You know what my favorite is though? Sad Boy 2005.
Thank you. I feel like that was underrated.
Wrong side of Mulholland Drive.
Oh my God,
so
wow.
good.
It sounds
Dead
so
or
good.
Alive. Oh,
Wow,
it's so
cool.
good. No, like for real.
I
Like
love when I hear
it's
my
the best
songs
song.
in like a good key or pitch, or I don't know what it's called when
You
someone can
sound
sing.
good. Girl,
I mean,
it's so
probably.
good.
I mean, they're definitely auto-tune for sure, but I appreciate
well,
it.
you got to do what you need to do. Like, who cares?
Oh my God. Well, thank you. I appreciate that
I
so
love
much.
that song.
I love music and I just like love singing. So, and now I'm going to think that your song Jocelyn, now that I'm like still thinking about it, is going to be about, I think of it as like being written about Abel. And that's why he made the character Jocelyn. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because maybe you were dating, in my head in fanfic world, you're dating him. The prequel, maybe if they do a prequel to The Idol, that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's Olivia O'Brien's
perfect.
song Jocelyn. They should have put it in there.
I know.
Wow.
Hello.
God, I'm actually starstruck just being in your presence with all the people you know. Like I was starstruck being in your presence and then I'm like, wow, you know all these people. It's so amazing.
I know a lot of people, and I feel like people don't always know that because I'm not the type of person to be like, oh my God, like posting with a photo with someone, because I'm so scared that people will think that I'm like trying to be like clout chasey or something.
Really? But I feel like that's just like your industry. Like people just post with people, you know?
I know, but I just like I'm so scared of like people perceiving me in any type of way that seems like fake or like just clout chasey. I don't know. I just like don't.
Oh my God, well, you shouldn't be afraid of that. I know what you mean though. I know what you mean, but I think I just love celebrities, so I would appreciate anyone who's like open to talking about
I'll
it.
go and talk to them and tell them I love them, but I just like I'm so nervous. Like I kind of keep that to like my friend circle in my life and don't like post about it and stuff because I just am so worried about people being like, well, you don't actually know that person and you're
oh my God. I post right away. I got the one DM from Abel. I said, thank you for support. I'm like, screenshot, look at this, everybody. I got so excited. Yeah, but your stories are way cooler. I always thought the most famous person you knew was like Toddy Smith. And I was like, wow, now I'm like really like, you know, so many people.
I've just like been here since I was 16, gone to every single party, and I have hot girlfriends that like date all of these guys and blah, blah, blah. So like
your girl squad is intimidating.
Around it. Oh yeah, they are very intimidating. Very, very intimidating.
Yeah.
I always wonder, I'm like, when people see us, like, do they get scared? Because I get scared of my own friends.
I was scared.
Sometimes like I feel like the odd one out in my friend group, and I'll like hang out with them, and I'm like, wait, like you guys are all like so perfect and cool.
Oh,
and
you
I'm,
feel
like,
that way in your own group? Really?
Oh, yeah, sometimes. Like, I mean, they're like, if I ever told them that, they'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, you're fine.
They're like, you're one of us.
But yeah,
I feel like I like wanted to leave. I feel like I remember telling him like I need to leave this because I do not feel confident at all. I feel like I should not be here.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have like perfect bodies and perfect faces and perfect outfits.
And
like
being young too. It's like
it's really hard.
But you're there. You're there. You just don't see it. That's what it is.
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah, I think I will always carry with me the like, I'm ugly and weird and I'm a high school loser. Like that will always live within me. So like it creates this like weird dynamic within my mind. So.
Yeah, it's a lot. Have you ever been, if it's too personal enough to answer, have you ever been diagnosed with anything? I mean, OCD, you said.
Yes, I have OCD, and I probably have some other stuff. I always say that everyone has their own unique cocktail of things, because I think with diagnoses nowadays it's so hard. I think that there are a lot of personality disorders that are overdiagnosed to women, because and like a lot of men probably have similar things, and they're just like a woman can go in and be like, I have all these things. And they might be like actually autistic or like ADD or all these things. And they're like, no, you have a histrionic or you have BPD or you have this or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. Like there's everyone you can have BPD and also be bipolar and like that. It's all these things. Or you could have OCD and also have ADD and also have and it's like the symptoms will overlap a lot. And there's even overlap with symptoms BPD and ADD. So it's like, I don't know really, honestly. I go through phases where I think I have something else and I think I have something else. I do know that I have OCD. I know I have depression, and I think that stems from my anxiety because my anxiety will cause me to spiral into a depression. I definitely have some other stuff. I have symptoms of a lot of things.
Right, but you're not
symptoms.
On medication for anything.
Not right now. No, I've been on SSRIs and you know. I tried this anxiety medication called buspirone for a while. So I've tried a few things, but I have some like trauma regarding medication. So I just like kind of, it susses me out a little bit. So I'm like, even if I'm like freaking out and I'm like, maybe I should take medication. I'm like, no.
I won't. I can't. I'm like, I've been misdiagnosed because there wasn't borderline when I was like your age. It was like bipolar. And so I was like given like lithium, and I remember being like crazy on that. So I'm the same way. It's like the worst to not have anything. Medication is good for people who can use it. I just think I was misdiagnosed.
It's so easy to misdiagnose people, and it's always changing. There's always like some new thing and it's like, how do I know what I have when everyone has such a unique cocktail? And then you have to try out all the medications and see what works for you. And it's like, what if I tried a medication and I have a crazy reaction? Like I was on Prozac for a while and I started getting these crazy, super intense, hyper realistic dreams, and it was affecting my daily life. I'd wake up and like think I was still in the dream. Just insane. I hated it. And so eventually I went off of it. and I still have the dreams. I think it permanently altered my brain a little bit.
Oh, for sure, it can happen. I know that happens for sure. People have talked about that too, where it's like they were on the medication and just like, yeah, alters your brain forever. I even think like my borderline was like developed along the way with like misdiagnoses, because I know people have like diagnosed me as schizophrenic before, and I was like on schizo medication because I thought I was hearing voices, but then it's like, well, it's like intrusive thoughts or something.
Oh my gosh, intrusive thoughts are the worst.
Yeah, right. But it feels so real. Like you actually feel like someone's like talking in your head, and that's what's like can be so scary.
Yeah.
But I know you're really open about it. I saw in an interview you were talking about how you said like back in the day they used to diagnose all women with the same
female hysteria.
I've looked it up. You're like, look up the treatments. I was like, oh, what are the treatments for female hysteria?
I was like, use a vibrator.
Yeah. It was like pleasant smelling oils in the genitals. I was like, what? Marriage was one of it. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm. It was like, be a better wife to your husband and you will stop. Yeah.
Right.
No, it was like literally everything was female hysteria. And like, just even knowing that and the way that things have changed since then, it's like, and also it's crazy that hysteria is like a word that applies to women, like like histrionic. It means like uterus or something. The root of the word. Mm-hmm. So it's like I never realized that. Like when you say like oh they're being hysteric right now. It's like that's like kind of a misogynistic.
Oh, for sure.
Word.
Right. It's
Excuse
like,
me.
wow, No, but the histrionic personality disorder, is that a real one?
Yeah.
Because I looked up the symptoms like forever ago, but I've never been diagnosed with that. That's why I was like, is this a real thing? Because like I'm like, no one's ever told me. But I looked it up and it's like, oh, like you're obsessed with celebrities. I'm like, this is like a personality disorder. I was like, okay, that's literally
think that
me.
probably means like the people that like actually convince themselves they're like in relationships with celebrities or something. Maybe
that.
I don't know.
Like astral projection.
I think loving celebrities is not a personality
I'm
disorder.
pretty obsessed. I get obsessed though. You're obsessed. Your latest obsession. I don't know how old this was Radiohead was like the most recent one you said.
Yeah, but that's just more like I don't really know much about like the actual like history of the band or anything. I just really like the music, So
you don't like delve into like who are they dating?
Sometimes I will. I definitely like to Google and like I'll go on like little tangents like about random things. Like I'll be like, oh, this person seems like they're hiding something, and I'll like Google and find everything out about them. Like,
wow.
But yeah, sometimes it's just music. Sometimes it's just whatever. But like. Yeah.
Radiohead is such a very specific one though, and it's also like way older than older than me. I feel like Radiohead wasn't even my era. So how do you get into those?
I just really like old music, just like I like old movies. Like I'm very like I appreciate the past a lot. I kind of like almost like live in the past, and I'm not in a way of like I'm born in the wrong generation. Like I just like I love that humans have created. Like I love. Older architecture. I just feel like the with the development of technology and how quickly everything is moving and social media and the overconsumption of things, it's like fast fashion, all this stuff. And sometimes I take a step back and I'm like, clothes were so like it was much more limited. So they just had a few items that were just like really well made, and the craftsmanship was so incredible. And so a lot of stuff that's older is just so beautiful. Mm-hmm. And also music now, it's very hard to make something that's like completely original, right? Almost everything, even on the radio, all these pop songs, like it's inspired by stuff that's kind of happened before. And yeah, you put your new spin on it and you make it new, but it's just like, it's so great to be able to be inspired by all these things of the past. And some of these people were the first people to do it. But even like bands in the 90s were inspired by bands in the 70s. And then they were inspired by bands in the like it's just cool to kind of watch that and see that. And I love like just having history behind items. Like this is like my grandma's ring and like my mom's necklace. And like I like just having having an item that has history.
Mm-hmm. It holds value, like you said, with the clothes. Like Marilyn Monroe dresses still are intact because they're so like the one Kim Kardashian wore. Like it's intact because it was made with quality. And music too, to see the evolution of music is really cool. Like I love My Chemical Romance, but they're like, oh, we were like Smashing Pumpkins, and then you listen to Smashing Pumpkins, and you're like, I kind of did too. I got into them. I was kind of like, do you know him? Do you know Billy Corgan?
No, but my lawyer, I posted that 1979 by Smashing Pumpkins was my top song of the year on Spotify, and my lawyer responded and was like, oh, we just started representing them. Billy is awesome.
Oh my God, you should work with him. Oh my God.
Okay, that would be like a dream.
That would be everything. He's been on Zach Sang, I think. I'm always like, how does Zach Sang get all these people? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I feel like he's pretty huge. I know Zach Sang can get everyone except for Abel and Gerard Way. Those are the two he hasn't been able to get. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Because he gets everyone else. Like,
so I'll BTS. Text Abel right now.
I'm gagged. I'm like, can we?
He's definitely changed his number since it was like 2020.
No, I mean that's why.
Hey, I don't know if you remember me. We met at Stas's house 4 years ago.
He probably does. That's all I can think about now is that you know him, and I'm like, wow.
Okay, I wouldn't say I know him. I've met him.
Okay, meeting him and him being like, I hope you get home okay. Like, wow.
He was just a really nice guy. I really think so.
I heard that about him.
I think he's just a really nice guy.
Did he introduce himself as Abel or The Weeknd?
Abel.
He did.
Yeah.
Was he by himself?
Yeah, he came by himself.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He had a big New Year's Eve party this year. I'm like, why weren't we invited? I'm on the radar somewhere. I mean, I'm a
Hello.
fan.
Next year. Actually, my friends went to that.
I need to be in that group. Was it Stas? Was it?
Yeah,
okay.
my friends all went to that because I threw a little New Year's Eve party with my friend Lydia at Tenants. It was like, I kind of got roped into it because I was like, no one has made any plans and I'm such a planner. So I was like, I'm just going to do it at my favorite bar. And it turned into this crazy party. Like I didn't know a lot of the people that were there. And then my friends, like that group of friends stopped by for a second. And then they were, and I texted them, I was like, hey, where'd you guys go? And they were like, oh, we went to Abel's and then we went home. And I was like, oh.
People's lives. God, people really do live these dreams. I'm in LA and I'm so far removed from all that. But when you tell me stories like this, I'm like, is this real life? Is this the Idol in real life? Like
it literally is the Idol in real life.
Because like his house was the house on the show, which would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, anyways, I love him. I got so distracted with it. Who is your dream collab? Like if you could collab with any writing or singing or...
I don't know, because this goes back to the like don't meet your idols thing of like, I don't know. I'm so worried that like either I wouldn't do well, I wouldn't like do my best performance or my best work, and then they would think I was bad, or like that I would meet them and I wouldn't like them. Because I've worked with some like pretty high profile people before that like I ended up being like, oh, that kind of was disappointing. Like they weren't very nice. Like a lot of big producers, like you'll meet them and they'll be like late and they have like a ghost producer producing and you'll like write and they like this one, the guy, he was not that big anymore. He was like huge, like early 2000s producer. And I had a session with him and he was 2 hours late, came in, introduced himself to me, was like, okay, have fun, like left me with another producer, and I wrote the whole song, and then he like told my manager that I was like rude or something.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
That's so weird. Why? Did you guys complain about anything?
I think I complained a little bit, being like, I don't know what's going on,
Like
and I think I was very like...
And he's like, she's the reason I left.
Yeah. So it was just, he just left the session and then I wrote a song with like a producer that I guess ghost produced for him. It was just very strange. So I've had situations like that. So, and not that he was like someone that I idolized, but you know, I was like, oh, he's a big producer.
Yeah.
So it used to be my dream to like write with SZA, but now I'm just like, I don't know. Like she's so, I just like, I think I would be too scared.
What's a SZA song? I don't know.
What's a SZA song?
Like, which one does she sing?
There's quite a lot.
Everyone talks about SZA lately. I need to get on this bandwagon. Everyone's like, I love SZA.
I might kill my ex. Not the best idea.
I know
That's
that
her
from TikTok. Yeah.
That's her biggest song. Yeah.
I know TikTok songs. Like, if you tell me something from TikTok, I know it. You know what I mean? Otherwise,
there's that one, and also blood stain on my shirt, no bitch on my dirt. And also, if you wonder if I hate you, I do.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, what a great. Those are great lyrics.
Yeah, no, she's incredible.
You guys should. Yeah,
I've been into her forever, and just like watching her evolution has been so insane because now she's like fully mainstream, and I'm so proud of her.
Love that. Is she a lesbian? SZA.
She has some lyrics where she's like, what's the one like? Love to my ladies, I've dated a few. In Love
because
Gore.
the name is very like lesbian coded. I love it. Like
scissoring.
Yeah, there was like the Scissor Sisters back in the day.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, they definitely were, you know.
Oh my gosh,
something.
the Scissor Sisters.
I love that. I love when people can lesbian code things. I think it's so cute. I love SZA now.
I was like, why is that? Oh, I know what you're saying.
It's cute. I think that'd be cute. And if she has those lyrics,
yeah,
I kind of love that.
I think I'll get to a point in my career where I will be more confident and able to kind of do that stuff. I'm like, why don't you just like reach out to me? Why don't they just reach out to me?
I know. I always think that too with this podcast. I mean, people should just no, it doesn't happen. I'm like, let me reach out to people because no one's gonna just reach out.
There's definitely lots of people that I love to work with, but it's like right now it just seems like a pipe dream. You know, it's not like.
Well, are you always working on music or has it been a while? Because it sounds like it's been a minute since you put out like an album.
I was working a lot last year with this producer named Colin, and I made like so many songs with him. And then now I'm kind of starting to work with more producers again. And I'm just like kind of getting some stuff together because I am going to actually release music this year. I have it all. We've got it figured out. We have a plan. Just kind of waiting to like sign some stuff and get everything in motion. So I will be releasing a bunch of music this year.
But you're doing it independently.
Yeah, independently, but I'm going to be like partnering with like a company. It's like a distribution company. Oh. So I didn't realize that you could like do something like that where you can still have a budget for things and they don't take all of your money and they let you do whatever you want creatively.
And you don't have to like sell your songs or anything like that.
It's amazing. It's like,
oh, that's amazing.
It's great.
There was one I was listening to the other day that I never heard before. I was like, I effed your brother or something like that.
I should have fucked
like,
your brother.
Yeah, I'm like, is this a real song? I love it. But I'm like, is this based on anybody?
No, it's not. So this
is independent, right? This song.
So it actually came out, or I did it kind of as like a joke song. I used to make jokes all the time being like, oh, I picked the wrong brother. Because I have dated like multiple like
brothers?
3 or 4 people that, no. No, I've dated like 3 or 4 people that like have had brothers that like I dated like, and when I say dated, I mean like I like haven't had a lot of serious relationships, and all my songs are like not about people that I've had serious relationships with because those people are never the ones that inspire me. It's always the like, I want you and I can't have you and you don't let me back. Like it's always those ones.
Those are more dramatic.
So like dated, I've dated a lot of people that have brothers, and also like the crazy the one that I did date, the crazy ex-boyfriend with the dad that should be in jail. He had he had like 4 brothers, and then obviously like Logan and Jake, and then like there's like when I was 18, I like had a thing with this guy who's like an identical twin. So I was like, it's so funny that why do I do this? Like maybe I should have picked maybe I picked the other brother, like things would have gone right. It was like a joke that I would always make to myself and my friends. And then I went into a session one day and I was like, this is a funny song. Like, should I just say it?
It's a good song.
I did it. And then everyone was like, oh my God, you need to get over Logan Paul. I'm like, this is literally not about him. Like, that's the other thing that's annoying about the dating thing. And if you're public about who you date, it's like, people will still comment and be like, is this song about Todd? I'm like, there's no songs that are about Todd. And also, I was like 18 years old. I was a kid. I'm not like...
Ooh, what does that burn for them that the song, maybe they think songs are about them and you're like, sorry, no. Well, you just made it clear there's no songs about.
Yeah, there's this one song I wrote called Sad Songs in the Summer, and I think that he definitely thinks it's about him because I wrote it after we broke up, like a while after. But he loves Nirvana, and like we used to listen to Nirvana or whatever. And I needed a rhyme. The song was like not about him. It was about someone else. Who actually this guy that showed me Tame Impala when I was like 18.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, I can't listen to Tame Impala. I can't look at whatever.
And then you were writing that with Nirvana.
And then I changed the lyrics in the second hook, and it was like, I can't listen to old Nirvana.
So and then like, that's about
me. And I was
me.
like, what else rhymes with that? And I was like, vodka. And Todd used to always drink vodka. Oh. And it was like, I can't even think about drinking vodka. Something like that.
So he's like, wow, this song's about me.
He definitely this is about him. But I was like, no, I just need a rhyme. I need a rhyme.
Yikes. Oh, well, that's cute though. So After Your Brother is not about wanting Jake.
No.
Okay. You're like, maybe that's the wrong brother.
Love Jake actually. But no.
Okay.
No.
I
never thought about that.
It's crazy we were in that same era. Like, we barely were, but like crossing
we
paths
had some
and that.
crossover.
You know what I mean? Which is like kind of weird. That's what I'm saying. Even at the time, I just remember being like, I was 31 at the time. I'm like, this is like weird. We're like hanging out with these kids who are like literally probably
I was
like
18. That's crazy.
That's why I was like, this is
no,
odd.
I know. and like at the time, I was like, I didn't think it was weird, but like now that I'm like, even just at 24, I'm like, oh, like my friend Sophie, she's, when I met her, she was 18 and she turned 19 in November. And I'm just like, you are such a baby. You're my little baby cutie pie. Like I can't, and I was like, is it weird that I'm hanging out with her? And like, no, it's not, because I love her. But it's like, I see her as like,
24 and 18,
And I see her as like my like,
totally
my little baby.
No, when I have 18-year-olds come on the podcast, I'm just always like, oh, like, you know, I want to hang out with them, obviously, but I'm like, oh, there's like but a girl and girl is different, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's different. And it's because you can have that kind of like almost like mentorship relationship,
right,
like a motherly, like, and we just like, girl, we just all like love each other. We just want to be girls.
You're at the same like level too. I feel like guys are like, and they're like 30 dating 18-year-olds, like weird. I don't know. I have such a hang up about that. Like,
no, I know. At 17. I do too. And I didn't realize, and now that I'm getting older, I'm realizing like I wouldn't
there
date
was like
someone.
trauma there.
I would never date someone that age right now. Oh my gosh.
Like people dating you at 17.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And then knowing your age. I used to have guys say that, not at 17, but like at 19, I dated someone that was 54. He's like, how old are you again? And he'd always like, that would like turn him on. I was like, oh, that's creepy. A bit weird. Yeah, the 17 is way too young. It's, I don't like it.
It's so young. It's crazy.
And then you're like, where's the trauma come? Because I always wondered too, like your relationships, have you had, and I don't mean this like insulting, but because of all your songs, have you had like a healthy relationship?
Nope.
Okay. Because they're all like cheating and some dramatic ending.
What's crazy though is like I never really, I hadn't ever gotten cheated on until my relationship with Adam, the guy, the crazy one.
He was the first one that cheated.
First one to really cheat, because I hadn't had many boyfriends. Like the only like actual like we are in a relationship.
Yeah.
Where it was Todd, and that was like my longest relationship was like 6-7 months, and then Adam. Those are the only people that I was like, we are boyfriend girlfriend dating in a serious relationship, and I was young. It's like it doesn't count.
Well, I feel like Jocelyn's such like a cheating anthem, even though I know you said it's like a situationship, because I mean you did say we're off and we'll never be on again, like on and off. So I get it, but like so many of those people do feel like it's a relationship.
Oh my gosh,
you know
people
what I mean?
will be like, this got me through my divorce, and it's like, and I love that I can be that for people, but I feel so strongly about what I realize is like, it's the fantasy. I love the fantasy, right? So when you date someone, and then especially me, like when I start dating someone and I'm like, we're in this like romance and it's a whirlwind and we're dating and it's only been a couple of weeks and I don't really know them that well, and I'm like, oh, I love you. Like, oh my God, you're the best. And then you get to know them and you're like, wait, you might actually be like a serial killer. You might actually be like really terrifying.
Right.
And then I kind of like I'm 1 foot out the door a few months in, and then I just like, the only reason I even stayed with the cheater man is because I was like, I need to see this relationship through. Like, I need to prove to myself that I can be in a relationship. I was like, why is that my mindset? I am so good at being alone. Like, I actually love being alone, and I don't want to invite anyone into my life unless they are contributing something.
Yes.
Even if the thing that they're contributing is just like making me happy.
Yeah.
When you are in a full relationship and you realize all these things about the person, and you realize like there's a beginning and there's an end. You know why it won't work out. You broke up for a reason, and it's over with. You tried it out. It didn't work. You didn't get your happily ever after, whatever. If you are in a situationship, you never get to experience the person in their full, like, you don't like have that full experience of a real relationship. You don't get to that level of intimacy of knowing them. You don't get that comfortable with them. And if things end and you're like, why did it end? Why didn't they like me? And you're losing not only the person, you're losing the fantasy. You're losing what could have been.
Oh, yeah.
What could have been was we could have had this beautiful life together. I guarantee if I had dated that person, then it would have not gone according to the fantasy, and it probably would have ended pretty badly.
Right.
There's a reason that it ended. So once you realize that and you kind of let go of the fantasy, it's easier. But like, I was so stuck on the fantasy for so long, and that's why all my music is about people that I never actually dated.
Yeah.
Because
you're in
the
that
fantasy. It's the fantasy. It's, oh, I loved you and you left me and we could have been this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I'm losing the fantasy I created in my head. And also I'm losing the idea of the person. And when you don't know someone fully, the idea of the person is all you have.
Oh, yeah.
And they're on a pedestal. I think you are the coolest, best person in the world. And they're probably not, because they're a human. Everyone's a human. Everyone's a human at the end of the day.
Right. And so you think
annoying.
like, I lost the best person. You're like, I didn't know this person at all.
Yeah.
That is very true. And I think those are very like wise words too. I feel like you're smart with that, and you're only 24, so you kind of know. You're like aware, which is like good. Because I would stay with people forever because I'm like, oh, you know what? I need a relationship or whatever.
Yeah.
You're good being on your own.
I'm kind of, it's like, there's good and bad in it, because like I do kind of wish that I was able to like open myself up to people and everything, and I wish that I had maybe like dated a little more in high school or when I was younger and just like been more open to dating. But because I was so insecure, I just like wasn't able to. I'm very like I said, I'm stand up. If people are like touchy with me, I get really nervous. I'm just so nervous with dating and everything. I often wonder, like, is it a bad thing? Like, is me being so good at being single and being so okay with being single and not wanting or needing a relationship and a partner, is that something that I've developed just because of trauma, because of my insecurities, or is it because I'm just like an independent person and I don't know.
I think it's the independence, because I had so much trauma and insecurity, and I never was okay with being single. I always hated it. You know
but
what I
it
mean?
manifests differently for everyone. Like, some people take their trauma and it's like, oh, I need a partner. And for me, my trauma was like, oh, nobody likes me, so I'm just gonna like never even like anyone else.
Yeah. It makes sense. It's interesting. And it makes sense now why you say where your trauma comes from, because you are close with your dad. I would immediately think, oh, daddy issues or something like that. But you said your dad and you are very close.
And I have mommy issues. So like, it's I feel like it's opposite ends.
Yeah, because you said you were closer with your dad growing up. I was like watching an interview about it, and you're talking about divorced parents and the holidays, and I was like, oh my God, I relate so much to that, because it's like, where do you go and all that stuff like that. But now you're like an influencer now, because you went on a brand trip with Poppy.
Yeah, but I was a +1.
Oh, I thought you were. I was like, oh my God, you're full on influencer. You went to the Hamptons. Who were you
was so
+1ing
fun.
with?
Kelsey, Father Kelsey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, because I was like, you're kind of being an influencer, because you're like kind of a influencer.
I was doing brand deals for a while. Like, I did like a Savage Fenty deal.
Oh
I had like a little moment where I was doing stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I was always worried, because I started with music. A lot of people start with social media and then they do music after.
Always, yeah.
I started with music and I got my following from music, but then I was friends with all these influencers, so I would like be in their videos and whatever. And then during COVID, I started posting on TikTok, and then I got kind of big on TikTok for a while. And that was like, a lot of people knew me from that. But I was promoting my music when I could, but I would also just make funny things. And that was when everyone was like dancing, and I was doing all that.
Did you do the dance? Did you make the dance up to Jocelyn?
So I was like, everyone make up a dance. And then someone made one that I liked and another person made one that I liked, and I combined the two of them. And I was like, thank you. And I was like,
because I think I saw Addison doing the.
Oh, yeah, we paid her for that.
See you again. Oh, because I did that dance.
Of course,
I was like, yeah,
we paid her for that.
the whole thing.
My label paid her.
Oh, wow.
But we're friends though, so
it worked.
Yeah.
Honestly, it worked. I mean, that's why I like bought the song. I was like, purchase.
There was totally like a thing. There was like a mathematical equation back then to like how to get songs to blow up. Like, you just paid Charlie, you paid Addison, or Bryce Hall or whatever, whoever the it people were at the time. You pay them to use your song and it blows up. Now it's a lot harder, and people are still trying to do that. Like, I have friends that are like, oh yeah, I have to do a song promo, and it's like, it doesn't work the same. Like, it was so good. I mean, also like that song was already doing something, so that was just to like help it. But I don't. Social media has already changed so much since 2020.
Crazy,
that like that's not a way to do it anymore.
Right, it's a totally different world.
And then it was like everyone being in their car being like, did I just make the song of the summer? And they like it's like everyone promoting their music.
It's kind of amazing though that people can blow up on TikTok.
Yeah,
that
it is, but it's so hard. It's like I saw this girl talking about how she's like, artists are weirdos. Like we're weird and we're freaks, and like you think that we want to go online and be like, hey, listen to my song. Oh my god, and you have to have like this. It's like it's so hard. It's and I feel like I'm like begging on the street for like I feel like it's so.
I mean, you have talent. You're putting something out there. There are people begging on TikTok, but it's a whole different thing.
I'm like, hey, listen to my song. Like, please listen to my song.
That's valid, I think.
Yeah,
you're not just asking for people to send you money. Like, send me $1 here. No offense. I mean, there's always ways to do it. I mean, I do it. I mean, it's nothing. But I feel like, so you're not going in the influencer route. You want to go in the acting. So, like, in the future, like this year, you're coming out with music. What do you see yourself, like, ideally being happy? Like, if you could make $1 billion doing one thing, would it be acting, singing, songwriting, TikTok?
Oh gosh, I kind of just want to do everything. I want to, and I always think back to me before, when I was a really little kid, before the trauma, and I said I wanted to be a singer, actor, dancer, fashion designer, and I'm like, I did music, so it just happened for me like so quickly, and I was so young, and I moved out here, and I quit high school, and I did all these things, and I was like, I do music now, and that was only one of my passions, and like I'm a writer. At the end of the day, I'm a writer. I just love writing literally anything. I write every kind of possible form of content that you can write.
Which is such a talent. Writing is so hard.
It's, for me, it's just like always been my therapy. It's just like how I just love it. I just love it so much. So I want to do everything. I want to continue to write songs. But I want to do it my way. And I don't care if it gets big or anything. I don't care about like pleasing the masses anymore. Like I feel like a lot of my music before it was like, well, what does my label want from me? And that's why I have so many songs that sound very different from each other. Cause I was like, well, what do I want to make? Would I listen to this? Well, I like this. And this is a song that it's objectively like, it's a good like pop song, but is it me? Is it me? I don't know. And maybe at the time it was, and like I write all my stuff. So it is me inherently, right? But I want to just make stuff that's totally from the heart that I feel is like a good artistic representation of myself. And that's what I've been doing recently. And then I'm obviously like writing the TV show pilot, and I'm writing a novel. I'm writing all these things. And I want to be both behind the scenes. I want to be in front of the camera. I want to do it all. I want to write for other people. I want to do everything. And I think also what I realized is when you have all your eggs in one basket, like with music, it's like if my music wasn't doing well, it's like I would be so depressed. I'm like, like, what am I going to do with my life? I'm a failure. I'm a one-hit wonder. I'm a flop. Like, what is happening? And then I was like, wait, but I have all these other talents that I'm interested in and all these other things that I love to do. Why am I holding myself back from acting because I'm insecure about scars on my forehead, right?
Yeah.
Like, why am I holding myself back from, like, I'm so scared that people are going to tell me it's bad. Like, okay, fine, then it's bad, then you don't like it, whatever. And I've just been really putting myself out there. This year, I have done more in the past, what is it, like 19 days, 20 days, than I have in the like all entirety of 2023. I was so depressed in 2023. I was like because I went independent and then it didn't go how I wanted it to go. Like I realized like, oh shit, this is way more pressure than I thought. I had an epiphany. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it this year. I got my GED. In the first week, I got my GED. I did it in 2 days. I was like, and I didn't study at all. I just went and I did it.
Oh yeah, you didn't talk about that on camera. Yeah, you just got because you didn't graduate. You said you quit school. Yeah.
So I was a super nerd. School was like and that's I think why like I love writing so much because like English was always my favorite. And I got a 99th percentile on the language arts one. I was like,
congrats.
Validation. I'm still kind of smart.
You're very smart.
My math one, I didn't do so well on.
Well, who needs math, really?
Exactly.
I never took one math class in high school. Never. And I graduated somehow. I'm from Illinois. I'm a farm town. They didn't care. Like, whatever,
That's amazing. I love that. So it was like, I was like, I'm going to tackle this year. I'm going to sign up for acting school and I'm going to go. I'm admitted to Santa Monica College, so I might go.
Wow.
I don't know if I can do 2 schools at one time and also work just with all the work that I'm doing.
That'd be a lot.
So I'm going to wait until I'm done with my program at Strasbourg, and then maybe go back to school. I want to take a Spanish class. I really want to get fluent in Spanish. I've been like moderately speaking Spanish for a really long time, but I'm afraid to like converse with people because I'm like so insecure about saying something wrong.
Oh yeah, 90 Day Fiance over there calling your name.
Oh yeah, I watch it. And I'm like, I understood that.
Yeah, you're gonna go find a Dominican man and just speak Spanish.
Okay. Yeah, I know. No, like I need to date someone that speaks Spanish.
It's cool and then when the girls from America can speak the Spanish with them, there's two right now that speak Spanish to their men, and I'm like, that's so cool.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. Because I wanted to get into this, but my Moses, my producer, here, I'll get into the bags. Oh, Moses, can you hand me the flowers? Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, this was literally, look at these huge flowers. I feel like, oh my God, are we on Raya? Is this flirting? I never got this is the biggest roses. Oh, I can't see. What does it look like? Do I look tiny? I probably look so skinny with these big roses. How tiny do I look? Good. I've never gotten roses this big ever in my life.
Really?
Never.
This little flower shop kind of close to my house. What? Yeah, we looked up like where to find some pink roses, and yeah.
We're going to cut them up for the next Hot Topics because it's so freaking pretty. They literally matches the background. I was like, oh my gosh. And they're definitely not Ralph's. I love Ralph's flowers. I saw this and I was like, oh my God, these are so heavy. I feel like a Kardashian right now. I feel like you're the Kanye.
I want to get her some like fancy flowers.
And when you came in, we have pictures of it. When you walked in, my photographer was taking pictures. I'm like, it's so cute. And then I wanted to see this little goodie bag too. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Thank you. This is so nice. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. Okay. Oh, you're super loud. We love you and you're Olivia and crew, thank you guys so much.
Olivia and crew.
I love that. Thank you. I'm going to keep this forever. That is so nice. I see now I'm getting nervous. I'm getting like all hot and stuff like that because I'm like, I never had like a girl, much less a pretty girl, do anything like this for me. I'm like, wow. Or a guy for that matter.
I was like, what do I get her? Because she has like everything. I feel like you're the kind of person you just buy whatever you want.
I know, but that's why whenever people give me anything, I'm like so like thankful. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's for Malibu.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna love this. The little Barbie, do you see? She will love. Oh my God, we'll do a little TikTok with it. This is so cute. I was like, oh, I'll take that too, but I'll share. Me and Malibu will share.
You could use this as a little purse.
Oh my God, it would be so cute with the little Barbie. There's so much stuff in here. Oh my gosh. You did like a whole Galentine's bag. This is like a new TikTok trend, like just Valentine. Oh my God, cute. Little ring pops.
And they're pink. Everything's pink.
Oh my God, I love the theme of it all. I love ring pops. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, here's another a little Valentine's house.
It's like a little gingerbread house.
You really did so much. I feel like this is like my birthday or something. Wow, thank you. Okay.
There's more.
Oh my God, there's so much more.
We went crazy.
Oh my God, they're LOL minis. She loves the LOL dolls. They're like her thing right now. I got a plush LOL doll the other day. These are so cute. Do you open these? Have you opened them?
I haven't. I've done. There's also mini brands in there. I do the mini brands ones, but I wanted to get like a kids one and an adult one.
Oh my gosh, I see mini brands all over TikTok. Where do you even get mini brands? No, I've never seen them at our Target.
So I hope there's something good in there.
Wait, is it like a surprise each one? Little cute unicorn. Oh, okay, cute unicorn stickers, which I love. And then, oh my God, Barbie the album. I haven't gotten an actual CD in so long.
Well, I thought it was kind of perfect because like you buy music on iTunes. Yeah. So I was like, what's another like old school way to listen to music? Like all the CDs are.
I have a CD player. I'm obsessed with my little Hello Kitty one. I love it. Do you have a CD?
Actually, my friend, Devin, she bought a Hello Kitty CD player for herself, but then she saw that I bought a bunch of CDs recently, and I was like, I need to get a CD player. She texted me and she was like, I have a present for you. Like, I don't need it. You need it more than me. So she said she was going to give it to me, but she hasn't yet.
The Hello Kitty one? Yeah, the Hello Kitty one. I have. Yeah, we're matching. We're twinning. And bananas for you. Oh my God. I saw this. I did see this one because Malibu loves her story time. This one is so cute. Oh my gosh. This is literally the sweetest thing ever. Thank you so much. Honestly, this whole thing was better than I could ever imagine. I was so scared to open your DMs, and now I'm like, you're probably the nicest. Also, just the most talkative. You should have your own podcast.
You tried. Literally, all the podcast companies were like, no.
Oh, literally me though. No one wanted me. I went to like Spotify. Everyone's like, no thanks. Wait, really? Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy.
In my defense, I did miss a phone call, like a Zoom call. I slept through a Zoom call that I was supposed to have with one of the companies.
Oh yeah.
So
literally no company wanted me. This is still independent. We're independent forever.
Woo! Yeah. You know what? Independent girls rise. Okay.
Just, you don't even need but you're so good. Your conversations, everything about you is just amazing. Your aura, your light, your energy. I love you. I cannot wait for your music. Seriously. You were always the it girl to me back then. I was intimidated. And now I'm just like, okay. It's just so wonderful and sweet to have you here. And I love you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope you come come back, and I can't wait to do our TikToks. What are we gonna sing?
I don't. We have to like really talk about this.
Okay,
This is serious.
Well, like, yeah, I'm trying to think about that the whole time. I'm like, what are we gonna sing? It should
can
be
I go to
something.
the tavern?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll go up there now. We'll go to the tavern, do a duet. You guys see Olivia Bryant everywhere. Her TV show will come out, everything, and just see her everywhere. We love you so much. Thanks for being honest and open, and we love you.
Thank you for having me, Trish.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow.
Just keep going. So good. We got into it.
I know. The connection.
As soon as I got it, I was like, okay, I got it now.